here. It's big, and it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Live at the Bike, brought to you by the Bicycle Casino in Los Angeles, California, the first and only webcast of real action cash game poker. My name is Bart Hansen. It's Monday night, and I'm joined by the Tuckster, Dave Tuckman, and we're going to do a little 300 to 500 no limit tonight, Dave.
Yeah.
5 and 5 blinds. It's the one day in California when it's raining out.
Yeah.
We've hit it today. And
We got the rainy day today.
Dave there in the coat. And
Burr.
how was the traffic coming down?
Oh, it was fine.
It's fine.
Normal LA day, you know.
Yeah.
Took 2 hours to do about 25 miles.
All right. Well, without further ado, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Let's go around and introduce the table.
Why don't we? In seat 1, we've got good old Sergio Myers. No relation to Mike. Seat 2, we've got Alan. Alan, call him Mr. Lucky, on Saturday night. He won the big end of the Bad Beat jackpot and is $20,000 richer.
Wow, and he said he might play in Friday night's game now because of it.
Yeah. Seat 3, we've got Patrick.
Ooh, Patrick.
Gotta love him.
Action Patrick.
Yeah, Patrick's one of those players where you'll see his face nonstop for about 2 months, then he goes broke. And here, look at this. Right away, he's moving all in.
Yeah.
And I can see on the thing he's got 9-8 offsuit.
Yeah, he's got bottom 2 pair here, and the other person that's in the hand has ace-jack.
Yeah, that's seat 6, so we'll get to her in a second. That's Nicole.
Yep.
Seat 4, we've got Henrique. There's Nicole. There's seat 6.
It's actually BB that's got the ace-jack.
And he's going to call.
He's going to call. So Nicole in seat 6 and BB in seat 7. And look at that. Patrick fills up, and he's going to take down the first hand of the night.
Yeah, he doubles up there.
Yeah.
And let's get back here. So seat 4, we've got Henrique.
Mm-hmm.
And seat 5, we've got, there's Henrique.
Yep.
Seat 5, we've got Albert Watt. There he is. And seat 6, we've got Nicole. Nicole Pepe. Working her fingers. Seat 7, we've got Dr. Beebe there, the unfortunate man who just had ace-jack.
Yeah.
What is she doing?
I don't know. Bingo?
There's Dr. Beebe. Robert Burns. Seat 8, we've got Ryan.
And he's an action player as well, Dave.
Ryan?
Yeah.
And in seat 9, I believe we've got Mo, but Mo is obviously not at the table right now.
Okay. So this game is a $300 minimum buy-in game, $500 max. The yellow chips are $5 chips. The blues are $1 chips. If you see purples, they're 25s, and whites are 100s. Dave, it's my favorite game in the house. 5-5 blinds. You start off with 100 times your money if you buy.
Your favorite game to commentate or your favorite game to play?
Favorite game to play.
Okay.
Favorite game to play. You start off with 100 times the big blind if you buy in for the max. And right away, I believe that Patrick was the raiser here with 10-3. He made it 20 to go. Got a few callers, and it looks like Henrique over there in seat 4 has an overpair. And look at this. Patrick's going to lead for 250. All he has is 10 high. And he gets Henrique off the hand.
Wow.
With the overpair.
And Henrique might not be familiar with Patrick yet.
Yeah.
But we are.
Well, with the sane person, what I mean by that is someone that's kind of tight and it's not so crazy action. Sometimes with pocket eights on a deuce 4-7 flop against someone who's raised pre-flop, are you going to want to call for 250 there, half your stack with pocket eights?
No, a lot of players you wouldn't want to, obviously.
With Patrick, I guess it's debatable.
Oh yeah, Patrick's one of those guys who he's here to gamble, he's here to have a good time, and he doesn't really care about money. I don't think.
We haven't really seen him on the show lately, but he is pure action.
Yeah,
pure action. And if he gets on a roll, he will be pushing it.
He's very similar to in a way of like kind of a combination of Jesus or Normal Fry and Corporation Mike. If you really combine those two, Patrick might be the baby.
Now, Alan limped in here with pocket eights and the button. Albert Watt made it 25 to go with ace-queen, and we're heads up. Pocket eights against ace-queen. Not
nice
a bad
flop
flop for eights. See how Alan plays it, Dave. He's going to, looks like, it goes check, check.
Oh,
and look at that. A queen comes on the turn. And now Albert's going to bet.
60.
Bet 60. Look at that, Alan. He gets away from it. You've said that you like Al's game, but he can sometimes be a little bit passive.
Well, he gave the flop away. And I understand eights. You don't want to go broke on eights,
Right.
obviously, because the guy could very easily have jacks, queens, kings, races.
Right.
But a flop like that, it's not, I mean, not terrible. Basically, he played it pretty passively on that one.
Of course, you can follow a live thread that started on the internet by going to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums. We're in the World Poker Tour and other televised tournaments area. And you can click on the official Live the Bike thread for October 17th. You can also email us at live@thebike.com. And Dave, boy, Live at the Bike has really taken off. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Sometimes I can't even walk through the casino without someone stopping me and asking me a question about the show.
Really?
Yeah. Now, Patrick raised it up here to 40 with 8-5 offseat. And Sergio moved all in, and Patrick, thinking with odds he's going to call. He only has one overcard. Look at this. Patrick has a club, but it doesn't come. 8-5 against pocket 8. Sergio flopped a set. He was all in for $80. Patrick could have caught a club there at the end, but it didn't come.
70.
Club that wasn't a queen.
Now, the issue now is, did he show that hand down? Again, for people that might not be familiar, like a seat 4 with Patrick, that's pretty valuable information.
Of course.
To see that the guy raised it up with 8-5 offsuit there.
Definitely.
And in actuality, Patrick probably should have called once he raised to 40. And the guy
Was
moved
it
all
45?
in. The guy moved all in for 80. So, I mean...
Getting 2 to 1 on your money?
Yeah.
5 and 5. So he's a big blind.
Actually getting 3 to 1 on your money.
Right, 3 to 1, right? 120, 40 to call.
Yeah, generally you can
Yeah.
call that in a cash game. Tournament, obviously, is a different story.
Where your chips are more valuable.
Right.
Yeah. And with one overcard, he's actually not even... Or, excuse me, he was in a bad spot.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
The only time you would want to fold it is if the other guy actually has pocket eights.
Right.
It's one of the rare ones you go, well, in that case, you're dead.
Pot was limped around here. This time Patrick decides not to raise with 10-3. He just limped in. He's going to bet.
Well, 10-3's got some surprise. That hand's got surprising strength.
Right. It looks like he's going to take it down here, man. Now, we hadn't seen Dr. Beebe there in seat 7 on the show for a long time before Friday. I want to say weeks and weeks and weeks. And boy, he played it pretty passively all night.
He won about 4,000, 5,000.
He did. He did indeed.
Okay.
Got paid off pretty well. I'm sorry, I'm still kind of on my Corporation Mike and Jesus having a baby thought.
Live straddle.
And it coming out as Patrick. I'm cringing. Ooh, there he is. See? Kind of half like Jesus, half like Corporation Mike.
Patrick's had some recent success in No Limit Hold'em tournaments, hasn't he?
Well, his style like Corporation Mike, that does lend to tournaments. They're real aggressive.
Right.
And if he gets chips early, and he gambles up and gets chips early, he can be dangerous because he's not afraid to push. And he's certainly not there to make it in the money. He doesn't care about that. He's there to win.
There was a straddler here. I believe it was seat 4. And it just got limped around. So we're looking at about a $60 pot. And the flop comes Queen, Jack, 5.
Allen is open-ended here.
It gets checked around. The turn is a 9.
Now he's got a pair with an open-ended.
Well, Sergio's made a straight in seat 1 on the button now.
Oh, wow. There you go. Just confirm, is that actually the correct spelling of Allen? A-L-E-N?
15.
Well, we got a $15 bet here on the button. And a call.
That was a question. It is, okay.
Actually, you know what? We'll get confirmation on that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. And BB calls. And the turn is a jack. The river is a jack, excuse me. And Al bets now.
55.
Al bets. Maybe just with a pair of 9s there, Dave, right? And let's see what Sergio does. $55 bet here. And it looks like he just calls. And the straight takes it down.
Check on that turn, I thought. It's a little too much checking going on. Somebody's got to have some of that.
It smelled, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, you got a flush draw set up there. Yeah. Sure, he's gonna kill me.
Button here is in seat 2. That was a good pickup, Dave. It's actually A-L-A-N.
A-L-A-N.
Yeah.
Okay.
35.
Seat 5's got pocket
I only
aces.
know that because Alan is my lover.
Under the Gun's going to raise it up to 35 with aces, and he's going to take it down, it looks like. Let's see if he shows it. Yeah, I showed it to the guy
What,
next to
30,
him.
25? Oh, 10.
A lot of people really like to show down their good hands. Show
Yeah,
their
well,
good
you know,
hands.
35 of my team.
Big blinds.
it's human nature to want to show, you know, ooh, look what I had, look what I had, look how I played it. I remember one of my first episodes of World Poker Tour I ever watched. Dewey Tomko was in it. And I remember watching him, and I remember one of his advice, one of the things of advice, he said, never show your cards, ever.
Never ever, huh?
That's what he said.
Well, I know that sometimes I've seen you hop into a cash game where some people might not be familiar with you, and you show a couple of bluffs,
Oh, yeah.
just so that you can get
Well,
paid
the
off
table's
later.
real loose. The table's still tight and passive and something.
I think this pot was straddled again here, and Patrick's going to raise from the button with Queen 4 offsuit. He makes it 100 to go. So it's 90 more for the people that have limped in.
Yeah. It's up to Ryan now. Ryan's an action player. He's only got ace-10, but like you said, Ryan is an action player.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to get rid of it.
Some might even say Ryan's a sucker.
Never know.
That lollipop.
Right, of course.
There's a river of the turn. I mean, and the flop. Yeah. That's what the problem is. Yep.
So Patrick with good aggressive play.
Thank you.
Al said, I think I have the best hand. He did, but pocket deuces, Dave. I mean, any flop, if you don't flop a set, you don't know where you're at. Especially with Patrick, who could be racing with any 2 cards.
No, your pocket deuces,
Yeah.
you can't call a big bet with pocket
Right.
deuces. Only because even if the guy is messing around,
Right.
he's bound to have 2 overcards.
Right,
Now, we have seen Mo mess around with like ace-deuce, though.
right. But it's almost like if I call a raise by Dr. BB with pocket deuces and it comes rags, I might figure out where I'm at if I check raise.
Yeah,
the flop.
if you're deep enough, you can
Right.
really make a play on the player.
Pot is once again limped around. Jack 10 for a couple hearts.
Well, Sergio is now open-ended. He's got 8-9.
No one bet on the
I got a
flop.
chance.
Turns a deuce. Henrik has the best hand here.
I got a chance.
30.
And he's going to bet.
Now, on the
30.
button, I can't believe he didn't bet that.
On the flop, right?
Yeah. Gets flop to you. I like kind of flop. Why not? Take a shot at it.
Sergio's not going to chase. Well, there's 2 hearts out there.
Thank you.
There's also 1 card to come only now.
Mhm. Sometimes people would put a bet in there if they were Sergio from middle position there on the flop. as
Oh,
well.
without a doubt. Real interesting football weekend.
I was just
Not
gonna
only
say.
did the Jets suck, but the Patriots sucked as well.
Well, Corey Dillon was injured. They actually had a nice little comeback there towards the end. But it is kind of looking more and more that you were probably right. They'll probably win the AFC East with
At like
something
9-7.
10-6. 10-6, I think.
You think so?
Yeah. We'll see. Teddy Bruschi might come back. Get a healthy Corey Dillon in there.
All right.
You never know.
Everyone's going to play for $5.
But the Jets have further bad news. Their starting center, all-pro center, is actually out for the season now.
We've got 6-way action here.
Oh,
Queen 7.
forgot we're playing
deuce.
poker.
Couple of spades out there. It was limped around again. Patrick's going to bet. He's got second pair.
40.
That's 40.
I actually think his hand is best right now. Isn't
Looks
it?
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Dr. BB's got ace 7, so he has a better
Okay.
He's going to make the call.
Wow.
Seat 7.
Gambling riverboats.
Now you wonder though if Patrick pushes hard on the turn, can BB really call?
Mississippian.
4 diamonds on the turn.
You hear that?
Pot's about $100. It looks like he's going to bet
45.
45 this time.
Well, that's not. And I'm wondering what happens on the river now.
BB calls. So we've got
If
about
it's just another small baby.
got about $190 pot here. Question is, does Patrick think his hand will win in a showdown? The river's a jack. Well, that's another overcard to second pair.
And I think goes check check.
Yeah.
Check.
And ace 7 is good.
Yeah.
7s.
Oh, your kick was good. Yeah. Queen 7? King 7.
You know, have we seen Patrick play in the 10-20 no limit game, Dave, before?
He's played it a couple of times. Not that often, to be honest.
I mean, it's got to be really interesting if he comes in there with some of those characters that we have.
Well, he likes to push around the table,
Yeah.
he really does. And we know that won't work on a Friday night,
Yeah.
especially bluff night.
Now, Nicole there in seat 6, some of Live the Bike longtime viewers, she's been in the commentary booth before, especially when we were in Vegas.
Oh,
Yeah, she was one of the main substitutes.
she's a really nice girl.
Now look at this, Patrick's got pocket aces, so if he plays his good hands like he plays his bad hands, he really can get paid off, dude.
And that's what he does.
And he's going to make it 25 to go. Seat 5's going to call with 7-5 offsuit. BB's got a little, he's got Jack 8.
Jack 8?
Yeah,
Offsuit,
Jack 8
he
offsuit.
calls.
Ryan calls with 6-3.
We've always
suited.
maintained that Dr. Beebe, his pre-flop hand selection is somewhat
Yeah,
sketchy.
a little bit suspect. Now Allen's in there with King Jack. We've got a $125 pot here. Queen 10-4, a couple diamonds.
Uh-oh, seat 2, Allen might get in trouble here. He's got King Jack.
Really?
And Patrick, it got checked to him, and he's moved all in. Patrick has moved all in with the overpair.
Now, nobody else really has anything except a draw. Ryan doesn't even have a draw.
I don't know what Ryan is thinking about. He says he has a 10, he can't beat the queen. Now, the problem here for Allen is because if Patrick raised with any 2 cards, Dave, and he missed the flop, he'd be a pretty hefty favorite here, wouldn't he?
Yeah, well, the problem is, does Allen really want to risk his money? And this is all of his money because Patrick does cover him.
Yeah.
He only right now he only has a draw. He can't even beat even if Patrick was screwing around with 8-4.
Right.
He can't even beat 8-4.
Or he can't beat ace high right now either.
Right. I mean, there's nothing he can beat actually, except like pure. I mean, like 9-3. You'd almost sooner make this call with 10-5.
And with Patrick having the ace of diamonds and 2 aces, Allen's a pretty hefty underdog here.
I think so.
2
yeah.
of his straight cards are gone. Backdoor diamonds are out.
And it's one of those cases where do you really, even if you think you have a small edge on Patrick, why take small edges?
But you can take a bigger edge down the line.
Exactly. Wait till you have a made hand.
So Patrick moves all in, and looks like Al might have maybe 400 or 500 in front of him.
And the pot is only, remember, the pot is only about, I want to say $120?
Yeah.
Fine. 1 minute clock?
And Patrick's asking for a clock on Al. So let's say Al has 500 in front of him. Oh, he's going to lay it down.
But there's not enough in the pot. The pot is like $600-700. Okay, maybe you're getting 2 to 1 on your money, but here's almost even money.
Right, yeah, it's about maybe a $620 pot,
And you gotta call.
500 to call.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting 6 to 5 on your money
Right.
for an open-ended straight draw? I mean, the only reason Allen even thought about it that long is just because it was Patrick.
Right.
So I saw a great movie today.
Yeah.
I saw Elizabethtown.
Ah.
I'm a big Cameron Crowe fan. I really like his style of directing and writing and movie making. Really good movie, actually.
Nothing like a movie on a rainy day.
It was perfect, yeah.
Looks like Patrick's picked up a real hand here again. Pocket 8s. He made it 30 to go. He's got a call there to his left by pocket 4. Seat 5's in with pocket 6s. BB's in there with Jack 9 suited. Ryan mixing up with 9 deuce offsuit in seat 8. And here we go again, 5 ways.
5 players.
And this is another, $125 pot?
Yeah. Well, Jack 10 deuce. Good flop for Dr. BB. Top pair flush draw.
Yeah, that's a nice flop.
It's up to me.
Yes.
Not a good flop for pocket 8s.
I'll go 50.
Patrick's going to bet 50 here into a $125 pot.
And once again, you can see your best tell, generally speaking, is somebody's betting style. Remember last hand? King Jack flops the thing, and he goes all in.
Right.
Here, he doesn't really like the flop, so he bets 50.
Looks like BB's just going to call here, Dave. There you go. Might you let the butler keep betting into you?
Yeah, maybe.
Pot's now $225. The turn's a 9. Now BB has 2 pair and a flush draw.
Yeah, Patrick's got open-ended now.
Yep.
Now, obviously, he needs a queen, a 7,
That's not a heart.
exactly, or an 8.
50.
50.
That's not a heart.
And he's going to bet 50 here again.
All in.
And BB moves all in over the top. And I've seen Patrick make these types of calls before. I have to be honest with you. He's got now the pot, Dave, 325 plus 400, 725, 400 for Patrick to call.
Now, if you're familiar with Dr. Beebe's style at all, you almost have to put him on minimum. I mean, this is probably the worst hand you could probably think he has. It's 2 pair and a flush draw.
410.
There's just no way pocket eights is good here, obviously. Now, Patrick, again, trying to figure out the odds.
Right.
I mean, he's getting a little under 2-1 with 1 card to come, and he's got to figure that he has to go for a straight here. And BB's got the flush draw, so he's in real bad shape.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if I'm playing against Dr. Beebe, I got to put him on, okay, Dr. Beebe's either got a set, and he wants to stop it, or he's got 2 pair, or he's already got king-queen, because we've seen BB do that even with made hands.
Patrick is drawing to 1-8 that is not a heart,
10 jack.
3 queens, and 3 sevens.
Probably has queen king. He might be on
There's
a
7
full
outs?
card,
Yeah.
too.
7 outs with 1 card to go.
Call him.
Pretty easy to do the math there. 44 cards out there, 7 of which help you, 37 of which do nothing for you.
Excuse me, can we call the clock? This guy's taking way too long.
I think Patrick's calling the clock on himself now.
Yeah. Well, hey, one thing I got to... When Patrick's winning, he is the life of the party.
Yeah.
He really has a good time. He's here to have fun.
10 jack.
So you would need you have about 1 chance in 6.5, Dave. You'd probably need about 5.5 to 1 to call here. If you knew what the cards were, obviously he doesn't necessarily know that his straight cards, if they come hard, are no good.
Right? Even if he goes, okay, he might not think his 8 is any good. So even if he gives himself a full 8 outs,
I
he's
know
going to
we're
call.
way ahead right now.
And he's going to call.
Wow.
He's going to call, and like you said, he's drawing to 7 outs here.
Give me help.
And the pot is about $1,100.
Here it is.
Here we go to the river.
Queen of Spades.
Oh, the river's a 5.
All right.
2 pair. I know.
Jack
Told you
9
we're
is
way
good.
ahead. I wanted it hard. Jack 9, that's what I figured. That's what I said, Jack 9.
That's what I figured. He
Yeah.
actually said that. That's what I figured.
I mean, again, to get it more advanced, I mean, if you think the guy has Jack 9 without a flush draw, and you think you have 2 outs to an 8, 4 outs to a queen, 4 outs to a 7,
That gives you 10
don't-
outs.
You know, that's
The most
best
you could
case
possibly have is
scenario.
10 outs.
Right, right.
If you put the guy in 2 pair with
Right.
no draw. Jack 10, Jack 9, any of those. And in that case, you get 10 outs, so there's 10 cards that help, 34 that aren't good. You know, you still need, 4 to 1 really to make that profitable? About?
She wanted you to show my hand.
Which clearly he wasn't getting.
I never ask people to show their hands if they don't want to.
I'm going.
Well,
anytime
aces up
you
north
want
on
to
2
see
plus
my
2, Dave
hand,
says. The
please
Pats
do,
are
'cause
dumb
I'll
this
ask
year.
you anytime.
They won't make it to the Super Bowl. They'll lose to the AFC in the AFC Championship game. I'll
That's
take
done.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take
I
that
personally
this
don't
year.
even think they're going to
Are
get
you
that far.
kidding
But
me? Yeah.
Did you really?
I'll definitely take that.
What's the matter with you?
I know. Dude says I might just have to kill myself today.
yeah, I have to assume if they do not beat the Jets record, that will be one of the saddest things. I mean, the Jets might win 4 games all year.
The Jets really in that bad of shape now.
They have their 4th string quarterback playing. I mean, their 3rd string wasn't good enough, so they went out and got a retired Vinny Testaverde. I mean, come on. Their starting center is out.
Look at this, Dave. Allen's flop bottom 2 pair, and Patrick's got top and bottom. We have an ace rag in there for Dr. Beebe.
And Patrick still has $600 in front of him.
Patrick raises it. Al bets 20. Patrick raises it to 40. Beebe's out of there. Sergio's got a gut shot to the 8.
Uh-oh.
And Al, I mean, he's only has 300 and change. Does he move all in here if Sergio calls?
And Sergio calls, I think, I mean, to me, you got to move all in here. Or at least make a big raise. Going broke to Patrick in his hand is not a bad thing.
And he's going to raise it up, David. Looks like
Bring in the 40.
120 total. And let's see if Patrick moves over the top all in here.
And this is the problem with playing against guys like Corporation Mike and Patrick.
And he's
is-
moved all in.
Call.
And Al calls.
I
And Al's
can't
in
blame
real bad
Allen in
shape.
this case.
Al's in real bad shape. He's going to have to spike a 9 here. Well, the turn's an 8. It gives him a straight draw. And the river is a 5.
Wow. Sergio would have gotten there with 5-6.
Actually, that did not get a straight draw. Excuse me, there on the turn. The 8 did not help his hand.
And Patrick wins about a $600 pot, $700 pot there.
Well, like you said, you really can't blame Al for that.
Not at all. But, I mean, that's the problem with playing guys like this, Corporation Mike. Jesus. We saw Mo. Mo lost $7,000 on Friday night to Jesus because it's hard to give somebody like that credit for a hand.
Or do I have them now, you know?
Sure, how much you playing?
You know, Dave, we always seem to have this conversation on Fridays. after the show, and you always come up to me, you're like, boy, don't you think you could beat that game? Don't you just want to hop in that game? And we have this discussion about, well, how much money are you really willing to lose? Because you can easily just get picked off on a
Easily.
bad beat.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a bad beat. It's just a matter of, we saw Mo lost about $3,000, about a $6,000 pot, where he had ace king and the flopped king high.
Right. King rag rag, I think.
King rag rag, and she just had pocket aces.
Right.
And how do you give him credit for having a hand that one time? I'd go broke in that situation too, probably.
Patrick raised here. He made it 40, I believe. 10-7 offsuit.
3 of us?
But in the long run, you can beat that game for a lot of money, I think.
Albert is called. And Sergio, who I actually believe raised on the button at 20, Patrick made it 40, has called with 10-4 suited.
Well, Patrick's got him dominated.
Ace 9-3. Not a bad flop for deuce 4. Wheel draw, flush draw. Seat 5. Excuse me.
See if he bets his draw.
I think he just checked it.
Actually, Patrick checked, and he's just thinking, and I think.
I'll go 30.
Okay. And he bets 30. So the action's on Patrick.
Only 30 on your ace? Or is it the flush draw?
Now, Patrick's still in the lead.
With 10 high.
I'm sure you got something. I don't. So.
Now he's going to get rid of it.
Can I get your small blind?
I need the ace.
You were counting your money. I wasn't going to mess with you. No.
Give me 2.
And Albert there takes it down. Have we seen Albert Watt on the show before, Dave?
Albert Watt.
One time before, I'm getting word.
We'll get our research department on that right away.
And, the other thing, too, is people come up to me all the time and say, well, did you see me on the show, 3.5 weeks ago? What happened with my pocket nines? And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Of course, yeah. Bad beat, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Terrible. You really played it well, though.
What they're saying on those headsets?
105.
And, Sergio limped in here in the cutoff with pocket nines, and Albert has raised out of the blind to $105 with 6-5 offsuit. Let's see if Sergio pulls the limp re-raise. Well, he calls, Dave, but I mean, if he only has $50 left, I don't really understand the move.
Well, unless it's like a kind of a stop go. And look at that.
And look at this flop. 5-6 deuce.
And nothing you can do about that.
And Patrick bets here.
You got Albert on your mind, huh?
Dr. BB Robert is out of the hand. He bets 115 here, it looks like.
And those are just yellow chips, right? He doesn't have a $100 chip there? Wow.
I don't know what's he take. He already invested $105 in this pot. I mean,
I know.
He's gonna call. Patrick Hands is vulnerable. Look at this. The deuce pairs and nines is in the lead.
Yep.
And the river's a 4. And that actually might put Patrick on a little bit of tilt.
Deuces killed me.
It's not a big enough pot. I don't think he'll be that upset about it.
Is that ace king?
And he shows the 5-6. So again, that
Yeah.
gets shown down when he raised out of the blind.
Well, I think they're on to him now.
We're getting word that seat number 9
Yeah.
is Dr. BB's son, Chris.
Really?
Yeah. He says he likes to watch the show a lot.
I don't believe in martinis.
Black straddle.
Likes to watch his Pappy online?
I might even throw it away.
Well, let's see if it's like father, like son.
Something's going to happen one of these times. I know it. Wishful thinking. Maybe I'll get aces.
Oh, come on. 220.
220.
This Patrick's going to raise it up to 220 from the button with 8-10 offsuit.
I got 20.
Albert's got pocket 4s.
Got a pair?
Now, if you're in a tournament and you saw a player playing like this, you might even want to gamble up and go, at some point, and move all in with pocket fours. But in a cash game, you pick your spots better. And obviously, you can play it a little more aggressive in a tournament because of the escalating blinds.
Well, the problem here with this style, if they don't tone it down, we saw it when Jesus was on a winning streak on Friday, Davies. If you raise every hand big, you're only going to get action by a hand that is better than yours. Unless the one time you're lucky when you get something like aces. And when you see Jesus, he was raising at that point with every single hand. He would take one shot at the flop and then shut down.
I mean, the one thing I will say about that is sometimes players tend to start loosening up their calling requirements. And they start calling you all in with pocket sevens or ace-jack.
Patrick has raised it up here to 25, this time with ace-5 suited. And he's going to get 3 callers, so we've got a $100 pot.
4 players.
Queen 4-8, couple hearts out there. Looks like Al's got top pair.
I'll check.
100.
Look at this. Al checks the top pair there, Dave.
Well, that's a no-brainer with Patrick behind you, right?
Yeah. Patrick has bet 100 here, the size of the pot.
Some people really like to play behind an aggressive, crazy player. But sometimes it pays to be in front of him because you know what he's going to do. He's very predictable, and that way you can see what everybody else does before it gets back to you.
Al just calls. Turns a deuce, gives Patrick a straight draw now.
Duplicates.
Those logic games.
150.
And I believe Patrick bet 150, and Al quickly called again. So we've got a $500 pot here going in the river. Patrick needs to catch a 3 or an ace.
I'd like to see him act a little more.
Yeah.
Because what's he going to do on the river now? The blank comes.
And the river's a 3, and Patrick makes a wheel. And look at this. Patrick moves all in, and Al calls. And Patrick got him with the wheel there at the end. Oh. Oh, my. And like you said, Dave, I mean, it's almost like Al gave him the opportunity to get there.
I got to be honest. No, I don't mind that at all.
You don't think so?
No, I don't mind.
Any strength?
I don't mind it whatsoever. I love the play by Al. I mean, to me, if a bluffer is going to bluff into me with 3 outs, and in that case, I picked up 4 more outs, so we had 7 outs, let him bluff into me. If I go broke, I go broke.
Well, he's gone broke a couple of times
Yeah,
now.
I mean, Patrick is trying to give his money away, and the dealer just didn't let him. What are you going to do? I mean,
it's always the dealer's fault.
Well, whatever. You want to call it the little leprechaun that's in the dealing, in that little shuffle machine.
The troll that's underneath the table.
Yeah, exactly. Doing the dealing, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to criticize Alan for getting unlucky there with the 3 of spades.
No, I understand what you're saying, but like I said, we would like to see Al. I thought when you said act more, I would just like to see him be a little bit more aggressive.
Against certain players, I want to see it, but against Patrick,
Oh.
why do I want to slow Patrick down if he's going to bluff into me? I just wasn't sure. I wanted to know what Alan was going to do on the river.
Mm-hmm.
If a blank came out, is he going to check and hope that Patrick bets again, or is he just going to check it down and hope that he wins?
Now look at this. Patrick raises to 60, and Dr. Beebe calls with an ace-rag offsuit to a raise. So he's obviously playing the player. Flop comes 4-5-9. Patrick's got a gut shot.
If Patrick bets here, he's going to say,
Oh, check. Turns a jack.
odd there. That kind of board against Dr. Beebe, why not bet it?
And Beebe has checked again, I believe, for the second time. Patrick's going to bet 60 now. And Beebe, let's see here.
Now this is a time where I would imagine you're in raise or fold mode here, and I think he's going to call.
Yeah, he just makes the call. And the river is a 10.
Wow, and Patrick's just backed into a
Patrick
straight.
made the straight, and he moves all in. Unbelievable. He picked up a double gut there on the turn, Dave, with that jack, and got one of his cards there at the end of the river.
Thank you, Patrick.
And he's got like 1,500 in front of him now, Dave.
And just so you understand where I'm coming at, the reason I like Alan's slow play and I like Alan not raising him is because Alan had a top pair there. And he's got to go, if this guy is bluffing me, he might even be drawing dead. Okay?
So why not let him just
Let
keep
him,
bluffing?
but in that case, Dr. Beebe had nothing.
Yeah.
He's vulnerable. He doesn't know where he's at. He's only got ace high.
So we're looking at another chip count there. Patrick up in the lead. Beebe's got about 1,000 there, Dave. He won off of Patrick, and everyone else is just kind of moseying along at the buy-in.
But it's also a matter of not knowing where you're at. Alan he knows where he's at. He's got top pair. But in that case, Dr. Beebe's going to call, and then what's he going to do on the river?
Right.
He sets himself up where Patrick could have even bluffed even if he missed the hand.
Patrick's brought this one in. Again, he's got pocket 4s. We've got pocket 3s in seat 1, and BB's got an ace deuce suited.
Well, 4s are good.
Yeah. Question is, what is Sergio going to do with this hand?
150.
And Patrick bets 150.
This is how Patrick likes to play. He likes to run a table over.
The pot was 90 pre-flop. Well, Sergio's not going to get involved. And he was drawing really slim there.
Yeah.
Obviously, he had a gut shot, but it was no good.
Yeah, I did too.
If the 4 came, Patrick would have filled up.
Yeah, not one I had a piece of.
He needed to spike a 3.
Mm-hmm. You talk about Sergio.
Sergio, yeah.
Yeah, he actually had a draw to a gut shot. Didn't even have the draw.
Right, he had a gut shot draw, and if the 4
Right. No, I'm
came-
saying didn't even have the gut shot yet, though.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
With what was it, 5.56 out there, right? Or 5.66.
About 100.
Sometimes those connected boards like that, you
Yeah.
get confused real quick. You're looking at it going, do you have a draw? Do you have it?
Right.
Together they had open-ended, though.
Thank you.
Once again, we are live here. Unedited, unscripted. We see it like you see it.
7 players.
Live at the bike. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. We're playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 5 and 5.
Well, this time Patrick's in there with a deuce 8 of hearts.
He's got a pair.
Yeah. 10, 8, 7, a couple spades.
Not a
And-
bad flop for Sergio,
Well,
huh?
Nicole's flopped a straight.
No, you said y'all
Okay.
bet.
Better flop for Nicole.
Yep.
Was that like a message or something?
And that's funny because Nicole, I think BB thought that she
40?
checked and BB was going to bet there on the button. But now she bets instead. And
Now, let me ask you something.
BB calls.
If the player behind me, if I have the nuts, and the player behind me
Absolutely.
thinks I checked and is about to bet,
Yeah.
wouldn't I let him
Well,
bet?
that's what running through my mind. Why don't you let him bet and then check raise all in on the flop?
Right, we'll get 3 callers in
Yeah.
there, then move all in.
Right. Exactly. Sergio called with Jack 10. That was exactly what was going through my mind.
Yeah. Funny little play there.
I mean, you've got the nut straight. Let BB bet. Check raise them all in on the flop.
Now, Patrick's a wild man, but he's not suicidal, so he gets rid of that pair of eights.
Looks like it was a $40 bet, and she got called. in
She doesn't have
spots.
much money. The pot's about $200 now.
Turns a 7. Looks like she's probably going to move it all in
All
here.
in?
Let's see if Sergio can get away from it here, Dave. I want to say the pot is about $320. It's $100 for him to call.
What can Sergio beat? Spade draw? I mean, he
Yeah,
can beat a spade draw. He can beat 9-10.
Well, he's called. He's made the call. He's made the call. And the river is a 10, and he fills up. What a horrible beat for Nicole. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a bad beat.
That is just killer.
Now,
He could have caught a 9 or a 10 there.
or
Dave.
7, right?
Yeah, or a 7.
A 9, a 10, or 7.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Oof. Brutal beat.
I feel bad for Nicole. Now, I don't feel bad for Alan because, like I said before, he won $20,000 on Saturday night. If he loses $1,000 here, well, boo-hoo.
And the question becomes, how many more people that I know are going to win the big end of the jackpot?
I mean, it was almost humorous. I was here Saturday night, and I played for a good 8 hours because we don't have Live at the Bike on Saturdays anymore.
Right.
And I was playing in 3 or 4 different games, and I think 3 separate jackpots hit in the top section.
And Nicole's going to buy 500 behind.
Players.
Again, I would have let BB check there, Dave, and check raise the flop all in.
Well, if you know the player behind you is going to bet.
That's right, yeah.
And the only thing bad is if he looks like he's going to bet, you check it and he checks behind you.
25.
Yeah. Well, he had already bet, though. We get a bet here by
Does it work here anymore?
Dr. BB Jr., Chris, on a flush draw, and he's going to take it down.
You know,
Wow.
you know her, right? She used to be the announcing when she was a house player.
Well, there you go.
I never see her. I mean, I haven't.
Now,
been
Chris
either.
emailed us a couple times, let us know that Dr. BB was had a PhD, I think, in
Statistics.
statistics.
Yeah.
So, not quite sure what Chris does.
It's about, I
Look
played
at that.
2.
That was a kind of a sweet little father-son moment there, huh? I'm getting all teary-eyed.
I know.
Well, CW Siggy here on 2+2 asks, he says, Bart, when are we going to see you playing on an off night at the Live at the Bike table? Well, I don't know if anytime soon, Dave. But if you go back to, I believe it was May 14th, I've been on the show a couple of times, and you have as well. So you can check it out.
Except
And,
you,
and we've actually done pretty well.
So it's your
Patrick's got kings.
Yes, he
It's up
does.
to you.
Sorry to interrupt you there.
And it looked like
Okay.
he's in the big blind. He's
25
going to
more,
raise it.
total of
He's going
30.
to make it 25 to go. Henrik quickly calls with the gap-suited connector.
Call.
And Chris is in there with Queen Jack suited.
Now, Chris doesn't have that much money to make a call like this. But it's tough when you're against Patrick.
About an $85 pot. Wow, and diamonds and an overcards there for Chris. Henrik's got a gut shot. About an $85 pot
I'm
here.
all in.
All in.
And Patrick moves all in. Well, that takes the thought out of Queen Jack making a move as a semi-bluff on the flop.
Yep, exactly. Now you know you got to be drawing to your diamonds. But you never know. You might think your queen or your jack is good as well.
Time.
Do you think your overcards are good?
And you got to look at the size of the pot and go, okay, what's the pot? Maybe $80. He's got about $250 left.
So it's
Go,
about
okay,
a
$330. You know,
$330.
$250 to win $330.
Got it.
You know,
And it looks like Chris lays it down.
and we get a nice little pattern here from Patrick. If he has a big pair, he raises on the flop. He raises pre-flop, and on the flop he moves all in.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
And it would have been a queen on the turn. That would have really sucked in. Chris had Patrick decided to slow play it a little bit.
Right.
I didn't have the neck on it.
And I tell you, people in Los Angeles, we always make fun of our rain, of our thunderstorms here because we go storm 2005, but last night was a bona fide storm. I'm not sure if you got it. I live in the Burbank area, next to those mountains, and we were getting thunder and lightning. I mean, like, my dog actually jumped in my bed and crawled under my arm and woke me up because the thunder was so loud.
It was, it was pretty scary.
I mean, it sounded like it was in my next door neighbor's backyard.
I logged on to a weather.com, Dave, around 2 in the morning, and I saw the red straight line thunder showers coming through town. I was
Yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure, but we might have gotten a couple of inches of rain last night.
Yeah.
Well, you got
And of course, the problem out here is that, like what happened last winter, if you get a continuous flow of rain, you have landslides. Because obviously, LA is on a hill.
Yeah.
And
And I don't want
it's
to sound
dangerous.
insensitive, but at the same time, my garage, flooded. It's awful.
Looks like Chris is raised here to 25, and Patrick's picked up another pocket pair. He's trying to figure out if he's going to raise here or not, Dave, it looks like. Yeah, Dave, maybe we can start a fundraiser for your garage.
Bart, that's not funny. In light of recent events, how can you even say that?
Patrick gets called here. And wait a minute, no, Patrick moved. I think Patrick moved all in, and Chris called with the ace-10. And Chris fills up here.
Yeah, Chris got lucky. I mean, that's a bad call by Chris. He just got lucky.
Yeah, he called with ace-10. Patrick moved all in over the top of him, and Chris called. Sorry about that, folks. It happened so quick we couldn't really hear what it
Yeah, they
happened.
didn't actually move any chips in there, which sometimes throws us. He just said all in, and Chris quickly said, I call.
255.
And you can't blame. I mean, that's not a bad play by Patrick. You thinking about it, you go, well, it's a $25 bet. This guy only has about $250 left. If I re-raise it to 100, can I really even get away from the hands?
And is he also willing to commit his chips on a hand like ace-jack, ace-10?
I don't mind the play with pocket eights.
Especially if it looks like you're trying to run over the table.
No, without a doubt.
In its entirety.
You don't want to call an all in with pocket eights necessarily, but moving in with eights and having somebody call you with ace 10, well, that's not so bad. Real questionable call there from
No, I had a
Chris.
pocket pair.
Top line, you're big.
Not jack.
And again, you always wonder when Patrick's going to start to steam a little bit.
Well, right now he's got, what does he have, $1,400 still?
Yeah, he's up probably close to $1,000.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he's up, he'll be fine.
I'm glad you called, though. I was wondering, when is this guy going to call?
Looks like Chris is going to muck the 6-9 of spades. Patrick's got jack 8 of diamonds here on the button.
45.
Makes it 45 to go. And it looks like he's going to take down the board. Now we got a comment here on 2+2 thread by Chester. He says, Alan's having a rough time at the moment, but I've never really seen him play badly. Have we seen him play bad?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not as big a fan as you are. Or I guess Chester is.
I don't, I mean,
I just think he plays it somewhat predictably. I mean, he's solid.
Yeah, I think he's solid. I don't think he's the best player out there. I've never really seen him make bad calls.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. If I'm playing against Allen, I'm not expecting to get. I'm not going to break him unless I get a monster and he gets second best.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm looking at him going, I don't fear him though. If he's calling me, he's got something.
Right.
And for my taste, he plays it a little more passive than I'd like.
Patrick's got pocket sevens this time. I mean, he's actually been picking up hands.
Yeah. Well, that was like Jesus on Friday night.
It's up to him, please.
It's on your hand, please. You raise 40.
BB's got 10-5 offsuit.
And I guess there is a tournament tonight.
Yeah, I think it's just our regular nooner tournament. That
Our
starts
nooner
at
night tournament.
7
Okay.
or 7:15 or something.
Okay. And Patrick is actually going to go. He's a big tournament player.
We're going to
That's what
lose
he's here for.
Patrick.
There's some really good logic puzzle books at Barnes & Noble in their discount section.
Looks like there's a couple people away from the table.
Well, maybe we'll leave you in the booth alone. I'll go play the game.
Back at this tape and see what I beat him with. They're gonna go.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, I'll play heads up with Nicole.
Yeah, that won't be for every day.
I don't know what Nicole's writing over there, Dave. I think she's playing like some sort of crossword or a logic puzzle or something. Just kind of takes your attention away from the game a little bit.
Oh, there it is. It's Sudoku. Sudoku.
We got a raise here, I believe, by Patrick. 5-3 offsuit.
Surprise, surprise.
3 player.
And it looks like BB's in there with Queen 10.
How about a Queen 5-3 flop?
9-10.
Oh, I got the Queen part right.
Queen 9-8.
50.
Sergio's got a draw there. He's got a gut shot with second pair.
You
Yep.
have an active. Okay, now he checks. Wait.
BB has the best hand here with Queen 10.
And look at that. Patrick faked a bet and then took a free card. But I'm not sure what a free card even does for him here.
Look at this. A 7 peels off on the turn.
You bet 100.
And now BB's going to bet 100. He's open-ended with top pair. Sergio's also open-ended with second pair. And everyone's going to fold.
Tournament. Out of turn, he couldn't. He qualified.
And he's talking about the little play he made there.
Yeah. Go relax for $100.
Have some fun.
Is BB going to play the tournament as well?
Wow, Dr. BB's playing a tournament. Okay. Maybe that's where he was for the last couple of weeks, playing little tournaments.
$100 and
Doing the old tournament thing going on. Tournament fever is catching, I swear. I remember the first tournament I ever played, I actually walked into a casino to play a tournament, and the casino director, the tournament director, actually said, be careful, they're addictive. He said, if you do well in this tournament, you'll be addicted. And sure enough, I finished I came in 12th place and came the money, and bam.
That was your first tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got lucky. I mean, I had no idea what I was doing, to be honest with you.
I think Patrick has left the table.
Well, we got some about an entertaining hour out of him.
Yeah.
Huh?
Nicole is raised here with Ace King suited.
And the game's dynamic has immediately changed.
Right. Absolutely.
I liked my first one.
I mean, the game will become 100% more passive. There'll be more limping in. We'll see more flops. You'll suddenly see Nicole play more hands.
Well, she should.
Well, you'd imagine. Well, she doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't want to. With 6-7, she doesn't really want to take that for $45.
He's the only lucky one that gets level.
Yeah, we
Not
lay
lucky.
down. We just lay down a lot of hands.
I got lucky.
Button has moved over to seat 9.
I watched Live at the Bike a lot, and I know how he plays.
I think Chris is saying that I've watched Live with the Bike a lot, and I know how Patrick plays, defending his ace-10 of clubs call all in.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Jack said,
We got a raise here
never would have.
by seat 4 with pocket 6s, and it looked like Sergio just called with ace-king suited. And the flop comes 5-7-10, couple of spades, so Sergio's got overcards and a flush draw.
That's a good flop for him.
It went check. Turn is a 9.
I was going to say he's actually the favorite before that, before the 9 of hearts hit, but now he's behind.
Well, now Henrik bets $20 with pocket 6s, and ace-king suited makes the call. And the river is a king.
One of his many outs.
And he checks. We played that hand pretty passively, dude.
Can I go to the couch? No, he's going to the
Takes it down.
We saw a hand earlier where they played with when he had the pocket nines versus Patrick. How passively he played it.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to be honest with you.
there's a board.
I might win more money against a guy like Patrick, but I personally would rather play against a guy like Sergio, a real passive player, than a player like Patrick.
Because usually, like, you would like to raise flops in position, just bet and have them fold, right?
Well, I'm not going to, unless I get real unlucky, I'm not going to lose a lot of big pots to Sergio, am I? You know, but Patrick, you know, you might get nabbed off here once, twice.
Not tonight, huh?
Pot is limped around here. Four-way action.
Anybody want C3?
7-6 deuce, couple clubs.
I'll take it. Alright. Then I'm gonna get a massage order.
Bit 30.
And Robert's going to bet here, Dr. Beebe, with a straight draw and a flush draw. He bets 30. And he's going to take it down.
Nice semi-bluff there.
Well, now the issue too, Dave, is I'm not exactly sure how they're doing the nooners for tonight. Is it a rebuy tournament or not? Because if it's no rebuys, we can see Patrick back in here in 5 minutes.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what tonight's is.
Yeah.
We just finished Poker October, and I kind of figured that the tournament staff would take a day off, but
Right.
what do I know? New player in seat 3.
Well, I think that's actually Ryan,
Ryan?
who's moved over to C3.
Okay.
It looks like BB has gotten up and left.
Goku.
Yeah, we got a new player coming into seat 8.
I'm just learning how to do it. I did my first one yesterday.
Where do you get this from?
Paper.
John in seat 8.
Highly addictive. Like the website.
Good old John in seat 8.
Calendar section, I think. Whatever it is.
Queen 8-7. Looks like it was checked around on the flop.
Check.
Turn is a 4.
You bet 25.
And looks like Henrik has 2 pair now. 8s and 4s. Sergio's going to muck.
First time today I get 11.
And he shows it. 8s and 4s.
Thank you.
Perfect.
You think it was Patrick, right? You think it was Patrick, right? Go all in.
Yeah.
Oh, you're probably would have had top pair.
Anybody want service?
No,
Once again, we are live at the bike, playing No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 5 and 5. I'm David Tuckman here with Bart Hansen. We're playing a restricted buy-in game. You can buy in anywhere from $300 to $500.
But this game plays more like, even though it is a restricted buy-in game, it plays more like a real no-limit game, doesn't it? Than, say, you know, a 5-10 game, which is
definitely.
$400 restricted buy-in. Or,
With 5-5 blinds, you know, if somebody has $500, they've had 100 times.
Right.
You can play, you know, you can make some questionable calls here and there in terms of looking for implied odds, big
Right.
implied odds.
Pot is limped around here 4 ways. Ace 7-5, couple clubs. Doesn't look like anyone has much here.
Yeah, Ryan's got a flush draw. That's about it. He's got Queen 4 of clubs.
Bet 20.
Look how fast those cards went up.
Sergio actually bet here, Dave. Looks like as a bluff.
That's
Ryan called with the flush draw. And Sergio's hand is actually good right now with king high. Well, turns a queen. Now Ryan picks up a pair.
check.
And it goes check, check.
Wow.
And the river's a
I thought
10.
you said he was action, Ryan.
Still doing the tournament?
Bet 20.
And now Ryan bets. Well, maybe he's decided to turn it down a little bit tonight.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're going to the tournament too?
Takes it down.
And we welcome back our executive producer.
Both of these guys.
She was gone for a couple of weeks
Yeah,
on
went to
vacation.
Australia.
Game is doomed. That's how you're
I
doomed.
know, it is.
30 minutes.
They ain't taking me a refund.
Might as well.
And you know what it is tonight? We might be a little short on players tonight, only because of the big rainstorm in Los Angeles.
Right.
We actually have one $1,000 game going, a $500 game going, and this 3 to 5 going. And I think all 3 games are a little short.
Yeah.
So
It seems like anytime it rains in Southern California, Dave, the whole city shuts down.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like the equivalent of 50 inches of snow in Boston.
Right, no, that's out. or about 1,000 inches in Syracuse.
Right. Pot is limped around here. Ace, queen, 5. Albert's got an ace. He's going to bet. Sergio has a flush draw. $15 bet there by Albert. Sergio mucks the flush draw.
He's leaving.
Oh, he's getting out.
That's why he's mucking.
Thank you.
7 on the.
Albert takes it down.
Now, I'll tell you, I'm not sure if Sergio is going to play the tournament, but tournament experience, Sergio, I mean, Patrick would have a much better chance of winning that tournament than Sergio. Now, Sergio might get the money more often than Patrick, but when Patrick makes it, he usually makes it pretty far.
Right.
You know, the deck hits him in the face, he's going to win because he's going to be in a lot of hands.
Right. But obviously he can lose very quickly as well.
Oh, yeah, I've seen Patrick get knocked out in 3 hands.
Right.
And he's done it. But he's of the opinion where, you know, he'll play 50 tournaments, and he'd rather play 50 tournaments and finish in the top 3 in one of those tournaments than play 50 tournaments and finish in the money 10 times.
Now Albert's changing it up a little bit. He's going to raise. I think we're playing 6-handed. He has Jack 8 of clubs. He gets called in 2 spots. King 3 and 3-6. While comes Ace 4 deuce. Now if Albert bets here, he should probably take it down. Checks there, Dave in position. Turn is a deuce. And now Ryan. Ryan actually has King 3, so he does not have trips. Turn was a deuce. It got checked around. The river is an 8.
Ryan still got the best hand there, huh? No, actually
Albert made a pair there at the end.
He backed into it, huh? And now he bets.
Now he bets 20, yeah.
Why bet now?
Doesn't make a lot of sense. He probably should have bet on the flop, right?
Right, but at this point, why are you betting? You can't beat diamonds. You can't beat a deuce. You can't beat the ace.
You can't beat an ace.
All you can beat is somebody who's actually going to call you down with a 4.
Get a bet out of you guys.
Or if you can get somebody to call you with king high.
Not that good.
Well, again, normally, like, you would bet the river there if you don't think your hand's going to win in a showdown.
Not that good.
Because your hand really isn't good enough to value bet, right?
Yeah, and exactly. Unless you
Yeah.
can value bet, you think you might get called by a hand worse than yours.
Right. But in that case, you correctly pointed out, really.
Yeah. I mean, to me, the only time he, like you said, bet the flop, you represent the strength, the ace comes, everybody checks to you, go ahead,
Yep.
continue with it.
Right.
Otherwise, what's the value of raising pre-flop with Jack 8 of
Last player
clubs?
sitting there would have betted.
Not like we're advocating raising with
You
Jack
might
8
have
of
won on
clubs,
the
but
river.
if you're going to, hey.
I'm sending.
That one hand where ace 5 won. Flop was queen 8-4.
We have 4-way action. It was limped around, so we got a $20 pot, 9-3 deuce, and it looks like Al
Got what I had.
has got bottom 2 pair.
I knew you had a weekend.
He does not bet there, dude.
Ace good.
Wow.
Doesn't bet.
See, he might be hoping for a checker. The problem is this table's really changed.
Well, the turn is an ace.
Well, Albert's now got a pair of aces.
Bet 35.
You got your straight.
Yep. Albert in seat 5 has a pair of aces, but Alan in seat 2 bets with bottom 2 pair.
And his hand is pretty vulnerable here. An ace, an 8, or a 10 would give Albert the best hand.
My kicker. 8.
Well, is Albert going to get
I'm gonna lay
away
it
from this?
down.
Wow, pretty tight play there. He mucks the ace. Again, though, I mean, you know, if you were familiar with the show, I don't necessarily think I've ever seen Al bet in there as a bluff on the turn with nothing. You know, you might even think that he
Yeah, I've
has...
seen him do a couple of semi-bluffs.
Okay.
That's about it. If
But
Al's
that board
betting,
really wasn't, you know, conducive
No.
to a semi-bluff, so...
yeah, I mean, you'd almost look at it and go, the only way, generally speaking, if Al is betting, if he's not there already, he's got draws to be there.
Right.
I mean, if you always folded to Al's betting,
That way I can
you
get
wouldn't
my
be,
gear,
you wouldn't lose any money, I don't think.
be all happy, and you can play no limit even to your vacation.
It's funny you were saying about 1,000 inches of snow in Syracuse. It snows so much in central New York, they just don't shut anything down ever, do they?
No, it's just another day. If they did that, though, you know, I mean, I think right around now the snow starts and the sun doesn't come out until October. I mean, until March.
Someone make it 10.
So
5-way action.
I'm all about the free flop.
Cheat.
Limped around once again. Wow, ace, queen, 4. 2 people have queens. 3 people have queens, and 2 people have aces.
yeah, everybody's had a little piece of this.
15.
And Albert bets 15.
That's why I just bet 15.
It looked like Nicole called in between, and John is going to raise.
I like
with
the
ace
raise
10.
here for John. I mean, he's actually really vulnerable to a lot of hands.
Hey, look at this.
I mean, almost every card in the deck gives somebody 2 pair.
Now, is Nicole going to get involved here with ace 3? A bet, a call, and now if someone behind you has raised.
Now she has no backdoor draw, which to me makes it an easy fold.
Oh, she's going to call.
Yeah, I don't like the call, to be honest with you.
Pot's ballooned to about $100 now.
Because what's she going to do now? She's going to check, of course.
And it turns at 10, and now Chun's made aces up.
Let's find out if I'm looking for hearts.
So she's going to check. She's drawing dead.
I think the guy announced that he's looking for hearts, Dave, too. He bets 100, and look at this, Nicole's going to check raise.
And
She
she's
makes
drawing
it
dead.
200.
She can only tie this hand.
John said, I'm looking for hearts, I bet 100, and Nicole check raised him.
Step around with King Jack.
He's not really thinking about it, is he?
Well, he makes the call.
And
now-
only a queen will tie this up.
Pot is now $500. Interesting little hand here.
And she's got 3 outs. Actually, no, she has no outs because all the queens are dead.
Yeah, that's right.
She's actually drawing dead.
You're going in blind?
River is a 4.
And that is not good.
And I think Nicole moved all in here. Did Nicole move all in? She's got about 240, so she moved all in blind. So the pot's about 750.
She'd be better off if she had waited till the heart came out.
Well, and the guy only has 200 in front of him, so that means the pot would be 700, 200 for him to call. I just can't see him laying this down unless...
Well, you got to look at it and go, okay, she went in blind, so I'm going to dismiss the fact that she might have hearts, okay? I have ace-10, so now I'm going to put her on a set of 10s or a set of aces. I'm not going to say she has a set of 4s now, so the only thing I can't really beat is ace-queen and a set of queens. That's it.
And the hands, the way that this table is right now, Dave, 5 or 6-handed, she would have been raising with those hands pre-flop.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
She
I
plays
don't,
it pretty straightforward.
I don't buy that she has ace-queen. I don't buy that she has queens. I mean, obviously, we're privy to that information. She just didn't play it that way.
But your explanation makes a lot of sense.
I mean,
Think
remember-
of the hands that you would have what she would have raised with pre-flop. It's very difficult to put her on one of those hands that can beat you here.
Remember, Albert also bet the flop, right?
Right.
She's smooth called. What is she smooth calling with? What is she? She's smooth calling with ace-queen? With
Right.
2 hearts to the board and 2 Broadway cards?
And look at this, he lays it
Oh,
down.
that's just a terrible laydown. Come on.
Wow.
You got to retrace the steps
Yeah,
in your
you
hand,
gotta-
and you got to really think about it. Nice play by Nicole. I mean, she got away with one there.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, is if her hand was really, really powerful on the flop when she smooth called and you raised, you don't think you're going to hear from her?
Exactly.
In accordance with the re-raise on the flop?
There's
She's
just-
just going to call?
There's just too many things out there that scare you.
Yeah.
If she has what she's representing, a
Right.
set of queens or ace-queen, there's no way she does that.
Yeah.
They often say, I remember when I was watching World Poker Tour in this first season, and Howard Lederer, the professor, would be on. And oftentimes he would take a good long, like 45 seconds to a minute to retrace a hand when somebody made a tough play on him. And what they used to say, Mike Sexton used to always say, he's actually thinking of how the hand played out. And I think if you do that in that case, on that hand specifically, I think you definitely make the call with ace-10.
Well, what about King Jack? I guess that's the issue.
What, she had King Jack?
Yeah, if she had King Jack.
And she called a raise with King Jack? She called it a gut shot? With 2 hearts out there? Okay.
I'm just saying, I think that's why the guy laid it down.
Well, okay,
Because
I'll throw that at you.
He even said you have King Jack,
Okay.
on the turn.
I mean, King Jack of hearts would make sense, I suppose.
Yeah.
She's got a royal straight flush draw, and she hit her 10.
But at that point, like you said, retracing the hand back in your head, 200 to call a $700 pot, do you think she's got, the only thing really that she's going to have is King Jack that's going to beat you in that spot. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
if you think about it, you go, okay, so she smooth called $20,
Right.
and then she called your $40 raise, so she called $60 with King Jack for a gut shot.
Right.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying that's what the guy was thinking there in seat 8. I know you don't buy it.
With 2 hearts out there, I
Yeah.
mean, unless you put her on King Jack of hearts, but if she has King Jack of hearts, she's probably even raising herself.
And of course, we're very privy to the information that Nicole's an extremely tight player, so
Yeah, and
she's
obviously-
not going to play hands that are going to beat you in that manner on the flop.
Right. And look at her, she just goes right back to her little Sudoku. Or whatever puzzle that is. Sudoku. Sudoku.
Seat 4 is going to move over to seat 1 now.
Well, that's Henrik. Henrik. And obviously, we are privy to the cards. We see the cards. We see what they have. But I think each hand is a story, okay? And if you're on page 125, if you're on the last page of the book, or the last page of the hand, so to speak, sometimes you've got to retrace it and see if it makes sense.
Pot was limped around here. And the flop is, looks like 10, 10, 6. Turn is a 7. And now John's going to bet with 6-8 here.
Put a 7 for him.
You look how quickly, you know, Nicole shuts down there with pocket 5. She didn't bet the flop. Check folded here on the turn. But again, it just gives you an idea of, like you said, if she really did have a hand that wasn't King Jack that was going to beat you there on the flop, you would have heard from her a lot sooner.
Well, I also don't understand why, if he puts him on, if he puts her on King Jack, right? Why did he call the turn raise?
Right.
She raised it up to $200 on turn.
Right.
Well, he was calling for 4 outs, hoping it hit an ace or 10. Well, Nicole's got the button now. Give her credit, you know. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I didn't like the way she played the hand. I thought she should have folded ace-3 knowing she was behind. But she outplayed John there and took down a huge pot.
She's got pocket kings this time. She makes it 20 to go.
A nice girl, and she's got some chutzpah. Gotta love a girl with chutzpah. Oh, yeah. And there you go, pocket kings. She raises it up. And she goes right back to her puzzle.
Yep. Actually, remember, it brings me back to a hand that you played, Dave, on the show, I want to say a few months ago. When you got, I think it was this game, you actually got a few people out that had weak aces. And you actually got Nicole out with a weak ace with a bet on the river, if you remember that.
I do.
Yeah.
I think I did a little blocker bet on the turn with the draw, and I missed my draw.
He's taking over for Patrick.
Now, C3's got pocket queens. He's made it 100, and Al's got ace-king suited. Now, we're playing short-handed. Ryan raised to 100.
And he's smiling.
Look at that masseuse.
$100
Working on his ear. He's trying to yank it off. Look at that. What do you got to pay for that service?
Now, in a 6-handed game here, and a guy raises to 100, how are you going to play this? How do you, what do you put him on? Do you put him on a small or pocket pair? It's a big raise pre-flop.
Yeah, I mean, you're putting in, he's only got $300 to win.
Yeah.
Problem is you're only going to hit the flop 1 out of 3 times here, even with ace-king. Oh,
Here he goes.
There you go.
And actually, did Al push all in there on the flop? Or did they just decide to check it down?
I think they agreed to check it down.
Okay, they agreed to check it down.
Maybe that's why Alan called. So I was going to say...
It actually also brings up another interesting spot there, Dave, if we can leave the board up. I remember us talking about this situation before. If you call a big raise with ace-king, and you're willing almost to commit the rest of your chips, say you call off half your stack with ace-king, and you hit it, why not, in this one case, check it from up front and let the guy bet off on the chips as opposed to betting the ace-king and maybe getting him to fold jacks or queens in that spot?
Well, as long as you mix it up so it's not you don't play it the same way each time.
But I think they agreed to check it down there.
Otherwise, I don't really like. You wonder why you call. Why would you call ace-king out of position? The flop comes out rags 2 out of 3 times, misses you.
Right.
And then what do? You check and he bets, you fold.
Big blind.
I mean, I'm not saying you can, obviously you can make a tough call with ace-king sometimes also.
Big blind and you press it.
Seat 1 there, Henrik has the button. Small blind is Alan, $5. Big blind is Ryan, $5.
I think ace-king is... Isn't it even with queens at that point? Ace 15.
Got a $50 raise here. $15 raise, excuse me.
10 more.
$15 raise here.
10 more.
Wow. That is, we're getting word that actually in seat 8 that is John Vorhaus, who I was just ripped apart.
Yeah.
We just criticized mercilessly.
Right.
I can't speak. Terrible.
4-way action here. King, Jack, 8. Looks like everyone's got a little piece of this flop.
Yeah, Albert's actually got I thought it was actually King, Jack, 10.
And Nicole bets here. She bets 25 with ace, Jack. Albert's got Queen, Jack there in seat 5. So,
see how much more aggressive Nicole's gotten without Patrick in the game.
Well, he's going to call. He's going to call here.
He's in bad
I
shape.
got a pair.
Maybe we have the same hair.
Turns a king.
I got 2 pair.
Me too. We have the same hair right
getting word that Patrick's on the floor. He's already out of the tournament.
Oh, really? So he might come back right into the game. The river's a 3 here, and Ace Jack is going to play. Just got checked down on the turn, checked in the river.
I'm surprised to see that. That would have been a nice place to throw a little value bet in the river.
Yeah, because he's not checking a king there, too.
Not twice.
obviously.
So pretty.
Yeah.
I don't mind the check on the turn,
Right.
inducing a bluff,
Right.
and avoiding the check raise if he did have a king. But once he checks it twice, you know he doesn't have a king. Why not bet your jack?
So, Killer Poker author and commentator, thank you for bringing that up to us, Kev Math on 2+2, John Forehouse.
Yeah, and it
we
is.
just ripped him pretty big.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I mean, I think if he checks out the archives and he
Yeah.
looks at this hand,
Right.
he'll admit. I'll even ask him afterwards. He'll say, "Wow, I really did misplay that hand." Now, obviously, like you said, we're privy to the fact that we know Nicole very well.
Right.
We've seen her on this show
And there he
numerous
is.
times.
There he is. He's out of the tournament, and he's back in the action.
The raise 20.
It's always nice to see that, Dave. And he's going to raise it up here to 20 immediately with ace rag.
Now, what's interesting here is he has actually not left the show for more than 30 minutes, and if you leave a game for less than 30 minutes, you can actually come back in for the amount you had before.
Really?
Yes.
Well, we're getting word that he's coming in for 300. And he's hit a pair here, and it looks like he has the best hand.
50.
He's going to bet 50 with ace 3.
5-0.
8-5-3, couple spades. And Henrik's going to move over to the top all in with ace queen.
Stallion.
Wow, and Patrick's got him killed.
Yeah, Henrik's in real bad shape here.
And now
Taking the 50.
Patrick just got knocked out of the tournament, so he might be steaming.
Well, he bet 50, and then he had bet 30 pre-flop, so he has 220
Should I
left.
give you 300?
Henrik, I believe, only had 150 left on the flop, so I think it's 100 more.
100 more to win like a $300 pot.
135 total. They took in the 50, and he made the call. Turn is a deuce, and the river is a 6, and Patrick's going to win it there with
Yeah.
ace 3.
Ace 3.
Henrik is not pleased, Dave.
No, well, I was about to get to. I wanted to get word to Patrick that he could buy in for more chips, but who needs to buy in for chips when Henrik just gives him chips?
Right.
Great. There you go. What's interesting, I actually would like to talk to John Morehouse about that hand then.
Well, it looks like some people are agreeing with us here, Dave.
Yeah, I
On
mean,
2+2.
I mean, like I said, I mean, we're not gonna play favorites. If Mo
Right.
makes a bad laydown or a bad call or a bad play, we'll say it. If you make a bad play, I'll say it. If I make a bad play, I know you'll say it.
Well, I get it. I have to tell you that I have not really been all that impressed with the way Mo has played over the last few weeks. I think he has made some mistakes that we didn't see him make before in the early times he was on the show.
Without a doubt,
Yeah.
he's playing the way Mo's played lately is actually he's playing according to the game. Like he's
Right.
actually playing it like he plays it looser in a small game, he plays it tighter in a big game.
Right.
And your game really shouldn't change when the money changes.
Pot is limped around here. Jack 10-5.
Go. Check. Check.
I think Albert has the best hand here.
Check.
30.
Pair of tens, right?
And he is going to bet 30 here.
Sit one over.
And everyone wants.
No.
And Patrick always knows how to put salt on a wound. He looks down at his chips, he looks down at his 200, he goes, where did I get this money? I started with nothing.
Are those yours or mine?
So, John Forehouse, are you familiar with some of his articles?
I am, yeah. I've read him a lot, and he actually has an article, I want to say Poker Magazine, or it's one of those big ones. We actually have it in the casino, and I always forget the name
Poker
of it.
Player.
Poker Player,
Yeah.
it's the big magazine. And I read his article in there all the time.
Yeah.
Seems like a very knowledgeable guy.
They give you
But
Again, if he's not necessarily privy to the way that Nicole plays, at this level, it's not uncommon to see somebody just, slow play sets. And
without a doubt.
hands like that,
But then why make the call on the turn?
Right. Right.
I mean, I just...
And look at this. Patrick's going to raise it up. Makes it 100.
But hey, the best players in the world make bad plays. I've seen Howard, you see Howard Leder, Doyle Brunson, Phil Ivey. They make mistakes. We're all human.
He's raised it, and Al's got pocket sevens. It's a $100 raise. Now, let's see what Al does here. No, he's just going to call. Patrick has overcards. Makes the call.
Now, if you're Nicole and you've got that much money, now do you take one off because you've got two players in there?
No, she's not going to. And here we go. And look at that, an 8 right off the bat. Not a bad flop for pocket sevens. And Patrick moves all in, and Al calls. Oh, wow, again. The turn's a 9. Al can pick up a 6 here. It's an ace, and Patrick wins with a pair of eights. Hits top pair. Wow.
And that's the way Patrick gets paid off.
It's almost kind of reminiscent of how Jesus has been took out Mo on Friday. Patrick's taking out Al here tonight.
Yeah, Patrick is he's almost similar to like a trash talking basketball player. Somebody that just gets he gets you off your game. You know? He talks so much crap that he just gets you off your game, and the way he plays it. I mean, Al made a play there that he would never play. He would never make that play normally.
Who's that?
And can you blame him?
Well, I was wondering what he was doing calling pre-flop as opposed to laying it down or re-raising, and I guess that was a good enough flop for him where he thought sevens was the best hand.
Yeah. Wow. And look at that. Patrick bought in for 300, and he's already up to 1,000.
What is your secret?
That's unbelievable.
And there's no fear of Patrick breaking the table, because as long as Patrick's in the game will fill up.
He's got $1,030. Did he even get his 500 originally back yet? Oh, he bought in for 300.
Yeah, he's up 700 in about 3 minutes. I think he actually lost by playing in that tournament for a half hour. He probably lost about $2,000.
And he's going to raise it up here on the button to 45 with deuce 7 suited. Albert's got a queen 8. He's going to muck.
And you'll see now the rest of the table will just quiet down.
Well, Patrick, this allows him to just continue to play his game. Look at
He's
that
an animal.
wry smile of his.
He is an animal. He's my idol. And did John Morehouse lead the game?
It looked like he did.
Wow, and Patrick's out of the tournament already, and John's just going to the tournament.
John's going to the tournament now. Patrick's out in the
Yeah,
first
the
15
tournament
minutes.
started, by the way, literally, obviously we're on a little delay. The tournament literally started 14 minutes ago,
Yeah, at
folks.
7 o'clock, yeah.
And John figured, okay, I can miss the first 10 minutes of it. Patrick is already in and out.
Patrick's going to raise here. Makes it 40. He's got ace deuce, and seat 1 has ace king. Let's see how Sergio plays it. He looks like he's going to re-raise.
Make it 80.
He makes it 80 here, Dave.
There's another player.
And I can see there that Ryan had king deuce, so Patrick's in real bad shape here. He's got 2 deuces to catch or some sort of wheel straight.
Now, we just saw Henrik commit his chips with no pair before.
And look at this, a deuce peels off on the flop. Wow.
Well,
How much you got over there?
And he says, how much do you have?
400. I'm all in.
And Patrick moves all in. He moves all in with ace deuce. And remember, like you said, Henrik called off all his chips with ace queen or raised it off.
yeah. Wow.
Oh, man.
And I tell you, it's tough to play against a guy like this when he's catching cards.
Oh, ace king is going to get rid of it.
I mean, you wonder if Patrick would have done that with no pair.
Well, what it really would have been, interesting was with the ace and a deuce there on the flop.
Oh,
Obviously,
well,
he would have
there's no way
easily-
Henrik
yeah.
gets away from there.
And that is just unbelievable.
And the funniest thing is that people will continually criticize a game like somebody like Patrick. They go, oh, he's terrible. He just gets lucky. He's terrible. You know what, though? I would rather, if I had to literally pay for somebody to play and I was giving them my money, I'd rather give my money to Patrick than, say, a player like, maybe Henrik. Nothing to say disparaging about Henrik, but, Patrick, gets the game all riled up. He might actually turn my $100 into 1,000.
Button here is in seat 2.
Now it's my turn. 150.
And
Make
looks
it
like
150.
Ryan is going to raise here to 150 with the ace jack
String bet.
out of the small blind.
No,
Patrick's got 7-9 offsuit, and he's going to make the call. He's going to re-raise to 300, Dave.
Watch out, it's getting
He
crazy.
re-raises to 300. And Al's all in for about maybe $40 with Jack 10 suited. Let's see what Ryan does.
Now, this is where Patrick makes mistakes.
Yeah, obviously. Because Ryan's obviously going to call the extra money.
See, Patrick's strength is his aggressiveness after the flop hits.
Right. Queen Jack 5 here. Turn is a king. And the river is a 10.
They both make straights, but the ace high
But
obviously
the
is
ace
going to
high
win.
is going to play.
Straight, got an ace.
I got an ace.
No, exactly. When you've got a guy who's got $300 in front of him, and he raises it up to 150 in the small blind. There is no real point to even play the hand, Dave. Now, I guess if Patrick just wants to gamble and moves it all in with 7-9, but he's going to get called.
Yeah,
100% he's going to get called.
Yeah, sometimes he gets like this where he almost feels invincible,
Right.
you know, and he just kind of starts throwing his money in the pot because he feels like he can't lose.
Right.
But he doesn't realize the reason he's winning is because he's being an aggressor.
Right.
He's the pre-flop raiser. He's the one pushing the action on the flop.
You can't fill this game?
You know, he doesn't necessarily win when he's a caller.
They all went to the tournament.
And I'm just looking at the 2+2 thread.
No, he's
Suited Chef wants credit for pointing out that was John Morehouse.
Okay. There you go. Thank you, Suited Chef.
Duly noted, Suited Chef. Thank you very much. We do appreciate it.
20.
Natalie Merchant, is that it?
maybe.
Looks like we got a $20 raise here.
I didn't know who the singers are. I just didn't know.
Patrick's got Queen Jack. And he's going to get a couple people to call here. 4-way action. $80 pot. King, deuce, deuce. Patrick bets here, Dave. He may take it down. No one has a king.
And that's where he takes advantage.
But he chooses not to bet. Turn is an 8. And now Henrik has the best hand. And everyone checks. Henrik does not bet on the 8. And the river's a deuce.
If you're Nicole here, are you pretty sure you have the best hand?
I don't have a deuce, so I'm going to check.
100.
And look at this. Patrick's going to bet 100 here. And Henrik's going to call him with the 8. And Henrik has it.
Fish coming in.
And I believe that Patrick just mucks his hand.
Is that?
I don't know if I'm going to be next to it.
And I just think that somebody asked to see Patrick's hand, Dave. And Patrick, you know, and get to turn over the Queen Jack there. It looks like we got George coming into the game.
And I got to tell you,
Greek poker god.
why would you ask to see Patrick's hand?
Yeah.
What are you expecting to see?
Right.
What are you going to say? What, now you'll have a read on him or something?
And I think actually the player that asked to see his hand was Henrik in seat 1. And of course, that's another time when you don't, because if you actually ask to see a player's hand that you're going up against, his hand is live. Even if he's mucked it, his hand is live. Those are the rules that we go here by the
Is
bike.
it?
If you're the winning
Should be.
hand,
You know what? As far as I'm concerned, if he by accident mucked the deuce, I think he should be live.
well, it is live. If you're the winner and you ask to see the other opponent, your opponent's hand,
Just, I mean, what's the point of it? What do you? I mean, the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to piss Patrick off. He's going to pick up his chips and leave.
10-7-5 here on the flop. And Nicola's bet here with ace-10.
3 players.
She bet 25. Looks like Henrik called and Albert called. Turn is a 3.
60.
And Albert now has a double gutter in seat 5. Nicole bets again. 60. Let's see if Albert picks it up. There's only one card to come. And he's going to muck there, Dave. Or picks it down.
Figured it out?
Looks like Patrick just did a little hit and run there, Dave.
Well, you know what? And I'm betting that Henrik pissed him off when he said ask to see cards. If somebody is actioning at your table, well, I'll say to anybody, you really don't. If you're not in the hand and you don't suspect collusion, don't ask to see a losing hand.
How's your back?
Well, that rule always bothers me because that rule's in place because of collusion, and you see people abuse it all the time.
Have them give you a massage.
Well, dude, am I
Between hands or what?
So you're first. Okay, thank you. No problem.
Looks like Henrik's got ace-jack
Not a
suited.
problem. I'll be here to direct you.
Nicole's got ace-queen of clubs.
20 Bukal.
And Nicole raised to 20.
Patrick's not here
Henrik
yet.
called.
Yeah,
If an ace comes here, Henrik's going to be in trouble.
Patrick's not here, so I'll take it.
7-7-3.
I think I know what you got.
Henrik checks, and Nicole's going to bet.
40.
Thank God he's not here because he'd have a 7.
Yes.
He'd have 7-9. Are you?
And let's see what Henrik does here.
What?
Looks like he just calls.
Do you have a 7?
Turns a queen. Now that gives Nicole a definite best hand.
Yeah, he's drawing dead, right?
If you want to find out, you will.
I will find out.
She bets 100 here on the turn.
100.
Did you have a 7?
No, not the line.
Henrik asks her if she has a 7. And he's going to get away from it.
Let's start with 2 girls. Oh.
It's going to be interesting to see how this table changes now again if Patrick's out of there. But you bring up a good point. I mean, boy, what a stupid move by Henrik if he got Patrick to leave the table with that kind of garbage angle.
I mean, obviously he was bluffing. He mucked his hand. He couldn't beat anything. Just accept the hand. You know, take the fact that you won the hand and take the money and don't worry about it.
Stealing the blinds. Stealing the blinds.
Trying to steal.
Trying to steal.
Look at that. Ryan's got queens.
Yeah.
100.
Okay, re-raise.
And he's going to re-raise it. The raise was originally $20, and it looks like he re-raises it up to about 80 more.
80 more.
And the action comes back to George. I don't think George is going to call this. Well, I could be wrong. And I am wrong. Wow. George plays a lot looser in this game than he does in like the $1,000 game. And seat 1 calls also. Wow, with ace-3 offsuit. And we've got a $250 pot to the flop. Nice flop for queens there. 7-4 deuce, couple diamonds.
No, I haven't checked.
Okay, my bad.
And it's up. The action's up to Ryan there in seat 3. I don't think he can check his queens. Thinking of how much to bet there. The pot is about $250. And he's going to bet $300. And this will probably go muck, and Ryan will take it down. Henrik is going to call all in. Wow. Man, he's got like $40 left, so he actually just calls for like 98% of his chips. What is he thinking? Well, now he's picked up the diamond draw. He's got the ace of diamonds in his hand. This would be a terrible beat, and it's not. That would be a terrible beat if the diamond came. God. Look at this. I mean, like I said, when we criticize somebody, I don't want to get anybody to take it personal here. But Henrik is playing like a clown. I mean, first he asks to see Patrick's hand, gets the action player off the table, and then he calls off all his money with ace-3 offsuit. He's got a gut shot wheel draw. Now on the turn, he actually picks up a diamond draw, so he's got a lot of outs. But man, I mean, any 5, any diamond, or any ace would have given it to him. But, wow. What a gift. Oof. Man. Now, people are just giving money away here. If you are within, if you can hear us, fly here. Play. The games are great. The action is fabulous. Hop on the bike.
Do you remember everything? Do you remember
raise?
Most everything, yeah.
We're located in Bell Gardens, about 10 miles south of Los Angeles.
Sir, it raised 40.
And the action is great. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's like a Greek god there, George. Pocket queens. Going to take it down.
You just missed a really interesting hand, Bart, for a second. George actually, we've always commented how players play differently when the stakes are different. George actually called an $80 raise with Queen 10 of clubs.
Live straddle.
I mean, we'd never see him do that in the big games.
No, I mean, if somebody made it what in essence is, 20 times, or excuse me, 16 times the big blind in the 10-20 game, he wouldn't be calling, a $360 raise.
He wouldn't even call, I don't even know if he called $80 in that game.
Right.
But he called it like it was nothing in this game.
Now,
and Henrik called off all his chips with ace-3.
Seat 1 has moved all in. He looks like he's a little short. We can see one ace.
Well, he
has an ace.
He just blew away $300. He's got maybe 45 left.
And seat 3 calls with ace-6, and George is in there with king-queen offsuit. Ace-10 there for seat 1.
Yeah, and they're obviously George is in there for a side pot, possibly.
For me? You haven't given me anything.
Well, here we go.
You want that $80 back? Oh my God, that's
Jack
so
9-3
wrong.
rainbow.
George has got overcards and a gut shot.
Go.
Okay.
And it goes check, check here. The turn is a jack.
No point to bluff here because there's a dry side pot.
Right. And the river's a 7, and don't go anywhere because ace-10 is good right now.
Ace high.
Henrik has 1. He triples up.
See?
Wait, does the
He doesn't look too pleased with himself,
Yes.
Dave.
Yes. Okay. Take it. Nice hand.
Welcome
Don't
back.
you jack it back.
Look
Oh,
at
nice
you.
hand. Nice hand. Nice hand. Nice hand.
He's just trying to give his money away.
Thank you, bud.
I don't like these ones. There we go.
Yeah, of course you have.
Maybe we can convince him to just give his money to Donna, and Donna will give it to us. I mean, he's got about $150 now. I'll take that, won't you?
If you lose that hand, we break this game.
Yeah. We actually needed to double him up a little bit.
Ah, it looks like Al has left the table as well. Huh?
Stop that, Brian. Good play. It's
So I won't have to worry about it. I played. I think I played.
What are those two cards?
Again, it is raining here in Southern California, which just seems to change the universe.
I saw them. You won't get them again, okay?
Yeah, it's really our first rain of the season. I mean, we did
Yeah.
rain a little bit a couple of weeks ago, but this is our first real rain.
Pot looked like it was limped around here. George has got top pair in the blind. He's going to bet.
I can catch you.
And he takes it down.
One thing about LA, it's really interesting because of especially in the valley, the way the valley is situated in the mountains. When it rains here, it rains sometimes 4 or 5 days straight, and then sure enough, it won't rain for 6 months after that. But when it rains, the rain just stays.
All the time. Four seats.
Got a limp here. Ace-6 offsuit. Word is Mo is going to be coming into the game, Dave.
And you'll see Mo will really he'll be all action in this game because he's not worried about the money because it's not a lot of money to him.
Yeah, there you go.
Ace-Ace-Jack. Albert's flop trip aces.
Nicole has a jack. I'm curious if she gets herself in trouble.
Everyone's got the jackpot hand.
everybody
Two
checked it.
diamonds, everyone's got
It
that.
looked like everyone checked it.
I have it.
Turn is a deuce.
Well, now Nicole's got the
25.
And George comes out and bets, but we can't see what he has. Seat 7.
and Nicole's got the queen of diamonds.
That's what they need to see. They don't need to see the other one.
George has a deuce. A single deuce he's showing us.
I didn't see it.
No, I'm sure
Albert
it's
calls,
the table one.
and the river is a king.
I didn't see it though.
Check.
And now George
I got
checks.
ace.
Well, Albert says I
Ace.
have an ace.
I'm betting with a deuce.
Jack.
George is betting there on a deuce.
Because on the board.
Yeah, I think George was just showing us the one card that actually was anything.
Right.
Sick. That's a sick shit.
Line, you want it?
And look at George, the Greek poker god, mixing it up. I've never seen him do that in a big game.
He definitely switches gears in a big game.
Oh.
Dave. Absolutely.
I'd like to see him switch gears like this in the big game. Once in a while, just mix it up. Just show the people in the big game that he's capable of doing.
Yes, he was.
Omaha.
Might get him a little more action.
Option.
I'm not good at it. I do like it.
So we have a new player coming into the game.
I love Omaha.
Well, Ryan had ace-queen of diamonds, did not raise out of the big blind, and he swapped an ace. Albert has a flush draw and a wheel draw with the 3-8 of hearts. It gets checked to him. He bets 20. So Ryan checked the ace-queen from up front. He's going to check call. And we're heads up. Turn is a 10.
Oh,
Look at them.
flush draw?
What we got?
You got flush draw?
And it goes check, check, and the river's a queen.
Well, Ryan might go broke on this.
Yeah, Ryan's got 2 pair, and he's going to bet with the ace-queen.
Raise him. 200.
He bets 50. And I believe Albert said raise it to 200.
I got 2 pair. Ace queen.
Oh, excuse me, he just calls. Could have sworn I heard that there, Dave. How did he just call that? Unbelievable. He just called.
Nicole just asked me that too.
Yeah.
Why did he just call? And that's at the time where Ryan definitely would have. I mean,
Oh, man. You kidding?
I don't know if it was all in, he would have paid him off because there is a flush out there, but
If he raised it 200, he would definitely would have been
he
called.
might have been.
I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
bet. He's gonna bet. He's
Some
gonna
odd play
probably
here.
get 100. Might as well have bet.
One more from Brian.
No, 5 more.
We're not giving me 7-4.
No. One more for him. One more for him.
That's your big blind.
Appreciate it. That's your big line. You just want to put your big line for
It's okay.
I never touch another
The
man's
button now
shit.
is in
Let's
seat
get the
1.
3s out of here.
That's what men said.
Uh-oh.
30.
It's bad luck.
And George is going to raise it up to 30 with pocket 7s.
Yeah,
100 on seat 8.
he's right. I got the
And he's going to get called by Albert. We can't see what he has in seat 5.
He's holding 3-8 now. Now he's running the 3-8 show.
He showed 3-8.
Oh, excuse me.
Again?
I had
Looks
3-8
like
on the
the
button.
action's really difficult to follow tonight here.
Yeah, well, that was just a really quick. It was kind
Yeah.
of bet bold does it.
Yeah. So George
Ricardo's
took it
our new
down
player in
7.
seat 8.
With that flop.
I like it.
Now you're a small
For the big
one.
line, maybe?
Brian's black.
Oh, there's Ricardo.
For the big line? Yeah. All right.
Getting word that he's a plumber, much like one of our regular Diablo.
I could use him.
You having some toilet trouble?
No, I told you, my garage is flooded.
Oh.
I've got like 4 inches of water in the garage.
We got 5-way action here. It's been limped around.
Yes, sir.
Well,
Jack 3.
Wow, what a flop for Henrique.
Yep. Open-ended straight draw and flush draw. Now Ryan has a flush draw and a pair in seat 3. And Albert's got top pair.
Está bien. Perfecto.
And seat 5, I believe, is bet.
Okay, yo te llamo
And
mañana.
Henrik is going to check raise all in with
I
that
like the
hand.
play. Get your money in with that great
Now,
draw.
what does Ryan do? He's got a pair and a flush draw.
See, the only problem is you got to think, okay, I have a flush draw. Now, there's 3 people in there.
Yep.
Do they both have jacks?
And actually, I believe it was Ryan that bet the flop 20. Albert called. And Henrik has check raised, move all in.
It's interesting.
That has to be the action, right?
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
See what I look at?
Wow, Ryan's going to throw it away. I mean, Ryan has not been acting at all.
And Albert calls.
Yeah, and this
He
is
calls.
about a $300 pot now.
Turns a deuce.
Someday, George, someday. Let me work it out.
Brian doing it nice and slow for
Yeah.
us, so look at that.
And the river is a 9, and that's not going to do it.
No.
Queen Jack is good.
And interestingly there, Ryan would have backed into trip 9s
That's
and
right.
won the hand.
That's right.
And Henrik just throws his $3 in there
Yep.
and walks away.
I don't know who he's giving it to. Brian. Does Brian get that extra money? Yeah, would have got there with the trip 9. So obviously his flush draw was no good, though.
Big line, George.
And it's a lot of players in and out of this game.
Oh, I didn't get it on the rest over here.
Now we're playing a little bit short here.
Gotta get to a review after all.
And looks like we got it limped around here so far.
Keep forgetting about this window.
What is it?
Drink a pot.
Turn
Alex,
more?
Alex,
Yep.
need my card.
3 of the best. Ace.
And here we go with the flop. Deuce 5-7.
I'm probably still
And
out.
George has top pair here in seat 7. And here again, Nicole was going to bet. Someone else was going to bet behind her, and she says, no, I haven't checked yet. I'm going to bet. She bets 40. Now, George knows how tight Nicole is. Is he willing to put money in the pot here with Queen 7? We're short, Dave. He does have top pair,
Now, George can play the player.
and he's going to muck it.
Out of pair. You got nothing, right?
No, I had 7.
A7?
Queen 7. You're telling me I'm
Leave it to poker players
And
to lie.
she's going to show the
Son
sixes.
of a-
I thought you had a 2.
That was a good bet.
And it's a good bet by Nicole.
Yep.
And that was George just playing the player. George gave Nicole credit
15.
for having a real hand.
A little
She
girl
did. I mean,
scared
she
me out of
really
it.
didn't think
You
of
see that?
anything.
Just what happened, Brian? A little girl.
It's funny when you're a big name celebrity or you've written a book or something like that.
I'm probably still
Right? I mean, or us. We really do put ourselves on the line every day, obviously, because we open ourselves up to criticism and we welcome that criticism.
Especially if somebody writes about poker strategy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I was going to get to that. If you're Russ Fox or John Vorhaus or somebody like that, and you've written a book and you play in this game, you better, if you walk the walk, you better talk the talk. Actually, if you talk the talk, you better walk the walk.
Right.
I always reverse those things. It's terrible.
In fact, you just specifically.
Yes, sir.
But you can't preach one thing and then play a completely different way and expect people to listen to you.
Well, I think that's why people were calling John out here.
Yeah, well, we called him out before we even knew who it was.
Right. We didn't identify him until after the fact.
Right, it's not like we're going to back off on it. Oh, wait,
Right.
that's Jordan Vorhaus. I can't make fun of him now. I can't criticize his play. Of course not.
Well, we've seen some big names here play pretty weak, Dave.
Oh, without a doubt.
First hand.
Happens all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to
So Mo's moving into seat 9.
He went to the tournament.
I mean, to be honest with
He
you,
lost right away.
you and I have played like crap on occasion, haven't we?
Lost right
He's
away.
going to be here in 10 minutes.
9-5 deuce here, a couple of diamonds. Pot was limped around.
He was already
He already
back.
was there when he came
back in
back.
I think Ricardo's got a wheel draw.
I knew that. Look, that's
Look
30.
at George. He's going to bet out here with nothing.
So you double it from Allen again. And then
Well, is Ricardo going to chase here?
I played 2 hands.
Yeah, he does make the call. He's got backdoor diamonds.
Patrick,
Ooh, ace.
Jack 7.
Dying for some watermelon.
Catch the 7 on the turn. On the river.
Wow.
Yeah.
Keep punching.
And then I had a
I'll actually be right back.
and we got the board pair twice, runner to make him full house. So I bought in, but I'm almost even.
Ryan's got a jack 10 here. He's going to muck.
How much you got?
Albert doesn't have much of anything.
I know, but why you...
And George's hand is good here. Well, actually, it's no good. Ricardo has got ace high. And look at this. George is going to continue to bluff.
60.
He bets 60.
60.
I'm happy to give you your money back. Next time I win you some.
Let's see what Ricardo does here. He's going to muck it. And again, we don't really see George play this way in the bigger games. But the aggressive play takes down that
Nice
one.
baller. Yeah, Patrick was. He's catching cards. That man is hot. He called Allen all in with a 4 on the flop, queen, something else. He got runner, at ace 5. He got runner, deuce 3 to get straight.
So Mo is going to take his first hand here in the big blind.
How you doing?
Let's see how he mixes it up here tonight.
Get serious.
Bought in for 500, the table
It's gonna be
maximum.
95.
We've got a couple hands here. It looks like seat 6. It's got pocket 10s.
No, I'll wait for you, Mo.
I
Nicole.
will.
She's going
That
to
way
raise
I'm
it up.
halfway there.
40.
She makes it 40. Mo's got ace deuce offsuit in the big blind.
I will show you when we're done.
Now, he knows how tight Nicole is now. He's not going to mix it up here with her.
20. I got a $25 right here.
Oh, you got one of my outs.
And she's going to take it down without any contention.
Pocket 10?
Yeah, that's Mo playing the player.
Right.
Good. Good.
So Mo gave me a piece of his watermelon, or I actually took a piece of the watermelon, and he told me that was my tip for him winning the jackpot on Friday night.
We have blue chips.
I didn't know the 10s were very, very busy.
Big one, sir.
Okay.
And Chester, I just want to address Chester on 2+2. Exactly, it's not personal. Now, if I said somebody is a clown, that would be personal. But if I say somebody's playing like a clown,
And I think your quote was, I don't want anyone to take it personally, but Henrik is playing like a clown.
right, exactly.
So there you go.
No, you can only play good.
We just got to pull the reins in on the tuxer a little bit.
Well, you know, our executive producer went away on vacation, and like all sorts of things came out. I wonder if she heard.
Mo, I have $1. You have $1?
She didn't. Let's keep it that way.
Looks like Nicole's been a pretty big winner tonight. She's got close to 900,000.
She won all the money from John Morehouse,
Yeah,
Oh, you want the big one?
where he decided to call. Oh, now I'll fold.
right.
Thank you. Right on the board. The board times. Mom, go me.
So I wonder if Mo's going to try to run this table over a little bit.
Where's mine? Whatever.
George looks like he limps in with deuce 3 offsuit.
We've seen Mo time and time again. He'll mix it up when he's playing at lower stakes.
There are 4 players.
We've got 4-way action here. Oh, ace 9-4. A couple people have ace deuce.
And George is going to bet with a wheel draw.
25.
Once again, we just don't see him play this way at the higher stakes.
No.
When you mark your hand, you take a look at this. You tell me.
He bets 25 here. Ricardo's going to call with ace deuce.
The way you were messing with it. I was thinking about putting more in, but it's only 16.
And looks like Ryan's going to call.
Yeah, I'm up.
Now you got to think, if Ricardo raised there, he might get Ryan out of the hand.
Yeah,
Possibly.
I would imagine so. Now, Ryan does a backdoor diamond draw, and sure enough, the jack of diamonds
Yeah,
hits.
so he's picked up the net diamond draw. He checks.
Yeah, George is drawing really thin here. He needs a 5 that's not a spade.
Well, he
I
kept
mean, not a diamond.
He kept, firing there with the and the river's a 3 of clubs. He kept firing with king 4 and 1. And looks like this one's just going to get chopped up, Dave.
All right.
All right, let's see it.
Ryan and Ricardo tie.
Good.
Ace.
Deuce.
And obviously that's the only hand that Ricardo can tie.
All right. That's
Shut
that's
up.
good.
Yeah. Because even ace 5 would play, right? Or aces, jack 9, yeah.
Exactly.
And obviously in Hold'em, your best 5 cards out of 7 cards played. So they both have a pair of aces with a jack, a 9, and a 4.
If you saw Ricardo's face when Ryan turned over the ace, you really can't like that.
Oh, you almost mucked your ace before you even see the kicker.
Right.
You show me that ace of diamonds, you want me to bet? I bet more.
Really?
Of course.
When I saw that ace of diamond, you bet more.
Of course.
Now I might have to...
Absolutely, 100%. All right, Mo, bring it up.
Well, it looks like George is going to bring this one in for 15.
What was it? Easy fold.
Yeah,
You know he's doing it.
jack 9 off suit.
Make him do it.
Mo's going to call 5-3 off
You
suit.
can, because I put here, okay.
All right.
I'll tell you, we're having fun here at the bike.
Yeah.
Ace deuce.
That's
And
what
Nicole
poker's all
calls
about.
with King 10. Albert's in there with pocket 8s. And Nicole flops straight.
She flops so many straights.
What did I...
George has got jack 9. He's got bottom 2 pair. And he's going to bet.
He's not that deep. He can get in trouble here.
He's going to bet 60. And I have that Nicole checked it from up front.
No, I think she should raise this right away. You don't want an action killer to come out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have a 10, a king, an 8 come. Those are action killers.
Everybody,
Of course, I'm not going to bet.
do
You're
that.
telling me I got
People free.
She's going to
Just jump on
call
you.
here, dude? Did she say you wanted me to call and check it down?
Keep going, one more.
She's being really nice.
There you go.
I personally, I'm not a, and she is.
Why would
There-
you want to do that with the nuts straight?
Yeah, I don't understand the play. I mean,
The river's a queen.
Wrong pair. Wrong pair.
Oh,
King high straight.
yeah. See, I personally don't believe in that. I think it's bad for the game. I think it's bad for your own game as well. If you put yourself in a position where not only do you have to catch cards, but you have to catch them against the right players. You know, I'm friends with you, Bart, but when it comes to the table, I want your money as much as anybody else.
and I got to be honest with you, Dave. I mean, you are here at that table to make money. If I only have $250 in front of me, like George, and I bet with the jack 9 and you check raise me all in, I mean, with 200 left, I'm not. It wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility that I'm going to call.
Yeah, you might
With Jack
you might
9?
lay it down, but who knows?
Yeah.
But I'm certainly not going to soft play it.
Yeah.
And I actually would be offended if you soft play. I don't want
Yeah.
you to soft play me.
Four-way action. I believe that was raised pre-flop.
I mean, I wouldn't soft play my grandma.
Now, Ricardo raised it with King Jack, and Albert in seat 5 has a gut shot and the nut flush draw. 8-7-4, 2 clubs. Ricardo bets 30, and Albert just calls.
I have a bad feeling.
2 players.
And we're heads up here.
So I'm going to throw it away. You guys go after.
Well, there's a 9 of clubs there on the turn.
Yeah, and Ricardo's. What is he in there with? He's got a gut shot? No? Yeah, now
He
he's got a gut
bet.
shot.
He was the pre-flop raiser, so he bet on the flop. And let's see if he shuts down now.
Okay, he's got nothing. No draw, no nothing. Okay.
And he checks.
How was the other table?
I didn't win anything.
And Albert's going to bet here.
45.
He bets 45.
As long as George is there, there's a game. Fish. No, there's a game.
And like a lot of pre-flop raisers, they bet once, if they don't hit. On the turn, they usually don't bet again. I mean, to be honest with you, if you ever get in a situation where you're playing with a buddy of yours or somebody that maybe owes you money or you owe them money and you don't feel comfortable playing with them for real money, get out, play at a different table.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, this is only 6-handed.
I mean, let me ask you a question there about that hand. If the guy is raising with a couple of high cards, and you have ace-6 of clubs, and he bets and everyone folds in between, do you just call there on the flop, or do you raise? Because in essence, if you're just calling, you actually might be giving him a free ride to catch something that he makes on the turn.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, you and I also, we always advocate raising with your draws rather than smooth calling with your draws.
And it looks like Mo is straddled here. And we have a new player coming in to see.
Yeah, his name's Robert.
You put your money in, because if it was me and him, he would have
We've
raised
got
me right
my
now.
action, $30 pot. King 9-3.
Yeah, he checks, sir. All right.
And Mo's going to bet.
25.
It's 25. Him and George have the same hand. And he's going to take it down.
Generally speaking, if you raise with your made hands and you raise with your draws, it's hard for somebody to put you on a hand.
Right.
Now, obviously, you might lose some money, time in here, once in a while. But in the long run, I think it's definitely the way to go.
And that's why we normally will advocate raising with big hands like sets and such like that right on the flop. Especially if there's a two flush out there. Not only are you protecting your hand, but someone might think that you're just doing so with the flush draw, because you've done it in the past.
100%.
Yeah.
If I raise with two pair, if I raise with a set, if I raise with a made straight, and if you raise with all your draws, your flush draws, your straight draws,
Someone help us out. We need to finish this game.
people have to respect it.
Never mind.
And if they come over the top of you, knowing that you do that with two pair or a set, well, then you can really put them on a strong hand.
Yes,
It's like the pot was limped around here.
Even full game, I get up for you.
Albert with
There's no
C5
full game.
with a
There's
flush draw.
She wants to play with you.
And
No aces.
C1 was the straddler here, Dave.
25.
So we've got a $50 pot.
C1's going to bet 25. He's got middle pair.
Look, everybody's got the same hands almost.
Patrick's back to the table, Dave. We're getting word. Well, that's great now that Henrik has left. Albert calls. And, we were just speculating that he left because of Henrik, but I think that actually was the reason when he made him show that hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He thinks that's Bush League. He's told me that before.
Turn is an ace. So we're heads up 7-9 of diamonds, and Robert continues to bet here with the 6.
And if you're Albert here and you raise there, you're going to take it down.
Yeah, but he mucks.
See, if you're always just calling with the flush draw, you have to actually make your hand to win.
So, I mean, in essence, you've got... I mean, it's almost like talking crap to a guy by asking him to show his card, especially if it affects him in that way.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm just not sure what you're trying to get out of him. What, I mean, are you trying to figure out that he bluffed? That he's a big bluffer? What, you didn't know that already about Patrick?
And we got a new player in C4. It's Arturo.
Chips. Where'd she get all those chips from?
And C3 there limped in with pocket kings. And he's going to probably be able to get the limp re-raising because we get a razor on the button with ace queen. So Ryan's got pocket kings. He's limped in early positions. $25 raise. And Patrick is calling what you said, Dave. He said, I wasn't going 30 minutes. Am I allowed to bring the chips that I left with on the table? And yes, he is allowed.
He's allowed to, and he had actually about $1,000 in front of him.
And I believe that C3 has moved all in. Ryan has pulled the limp re-raise all in.
I'm on it.
Bet 25, raise all in.
You're on it? I'm on it.
Albert's got pocket sixes here, Dave.
Why don't we get word to Donna to make sure she knows Patrick can actually buy in for the amount he left the game with?
Oh, because that's 200. Just total. No.
Albert releases, and the action's over to Ricardo.
Push a stack out there.
And Ricardo's pretty short here, Dave. Let's see if he makes the call. He doesn't have many chips. Well, he's got about 200. Let's see.
Throw 25 in here.
I got a warrant on strings.
Throw a stack.
Just throw 25 and match this. And then another big stack. Throw one more stack up there. All right, perfect. All right.
Let's see what Ricardo does here.
my house so I can get all those chips.
Where is it?
Well, it's very, very, it's a strong move. Yeah. I mean, you almost have to put the guy at a minimum of ace king.
Well, I got to tell you a play I made the other day. It was actually, I just did it for fun because there's a couple of guys I knew, but I'll tell you about it.
You didn't want me to see a flop. Send him.
I don't know if Ricardo, he doesn't really want to make the call here, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, give him credit for knowing how vulnerable ace-queen offsuit is.
Again, to a limp re-raise.
He does have the button, and that's the only thing maybe he thinks. But he doesn't. He's not that deep, though.
The other thing, though, too, is sometimes people will gamble it up here when you're kind of short, and then if he goes broke, he can rebuy.
Right.
Obviously. Although in this game, you can bring it up to 500 anytime, so
yeah,
it doesn't really matter.
But you could put me on the 1,000. Oh, I'm up there already. Okay.
And he's going to get rid of it.
I was actually playing in a hand with Francois, and we all know Francois. He was actually in a game the other day. and I was playing in the $500 buy-in game with Francois, and I limped in early position with King 9, which is an awful play. And I got 4 callers, and then Francois on the button made it 35 to go. And I was about to lay it down, and I thought about it. I go, you know what? And I looked at the button, and I said, wait a second, I'm under the gun here. So I re-raised it up to like 120. And everybody folded, and Francois goes, oh, I'm not. And he threw away like ace 10. Even citing the old raise and re-raise. And obviously, it's kind of a schmuck play I made, to be honest with you. But got lucky that I knew Francois obviously knows the whole limp re-raise play.
Yeah. We get a raise here to 25 from seat number 4. Ace 6 offsuit. Seat 5 is called. George is called. And seat 8's got ace king suited, and he's going to move the rest all in here. Looks like about 200. And actually, and look at this, Patrick.
It's 200. It's 195 total.
He's going to make he's going to move over the top with queen 4.
And how much more is it?
It's 300.
Re-raised here.
And ace king's all in here.
Yeah, and this is another Patrick's. He's pure gamble here.
Pure gamble.
Oh, no.
So the action's over to Albert in seat 5 with 9-10 of clubs. He's not going to make a $300 call, is he? A raise by seat 4, a re-raise all in by seat 8. Patrick moves over the top for 300 with queen 4 suited.
Yeah, 9-10 of clubs loses all its appeal when you got to go in for $300.
Right.
So that's 300. 275 there.
I wish I knew I was going to be sitting here.
Still don't know what he's thinking about over there, dude.
Do I want to do this?
Hey, Bart, you got any extra sunglasses back there?
If I don't call you, you're going to call. Huh?
He's not calling. I promise you.
If you're calling, I may have. I'm not going to get in the way. This is
Still thinking about it, and he is going to muck it.
Now I can't. Good luck.
George is out of there. So we're going to take it heads up here. Queen 4 against ace king.
And I want to say ace king's like, what, maybe a 60-40 favorite?
Well, I want to say that Patrick's cards are live, and one of the aces is dead, from what I saw.
Okay. About a 3-2 favorite, probably.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
Jack, Jack 8. No
He's in a lot better shape now.
Have any of that? I guarantee you.
No, I had 9-10 of clubs.
Turns a 7, and yeah, seat 5 would have made a straight.
Oh, now you're
Looks like Ace King High is going to win.
The board beats me.
And the river's a 3. And Ricardo takes it down there with the ace king.
Oh!
I know nobody had any.
Shiza!
$300.
I told you you were
Same
hot.
hand I had.
But again, like you said, that's kind of where
I
Patrick
did a
falls.
good
He said,
fold.
I knew no one had any strong hands. The guy has moved all in for 205, Dave.
Right.
You know?
I mean, if the guy limps in or the guy raises at the 30 and you make it 300 to go,
Right.
great. Hey, you might win the pot right there and then.
Yeah.
But
I know, I'm just giving you crap.
you're essentially calling with queen 4.
Oh, you know, same old shite. I was off no limit for a week because I took a bad week.
And
So now I'm back.
look at this. It's Scott Groves, another former Live at the Bike commentator, Dave.
Wow.
From back over the summer. Scott Groves into the game in seat 9.
What do you?
I think they used to call these guys the B team, and I didn't even name it.
I just don't know from both.
the B team.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's just brutal.
That's what the 2+2ers called them. Right? Am I right? Yeah.
Okay, one time.
Just out of curiosity, Scott Groves, what's his? I've played with him once or twice, but I don't really have a good grasp on his playing style. What's he play like?
I've seen him do some wild moves, Dave, before. I don't know if he's necessarily prone to tilting, but sometimes.
I mean, is he good?
Well, we'll see. Yeah, we got a $25 raise here pre-flop, and we've got 4 people in there, so it's a $100 pot.
Are those cards okay?
Ace 8 7.
Ricardo's got an open-ended straight draw.
Patrick's going to bet here with King 7. It looks like he has the best hand, and I believe that he is all in for 80. Is that correct? Yeah, he's all in for 80. Ryan's got pocket 5s. He's beat.
Patrick, you got him in the tank over $75? He's in the tank over $75.
Now, if Ricardo knows that Patrick doesn't have an ace, you can call here because it's basically, in essence, over cards.
You almost can call anyway
And a straight draw.
because you can almost call anyway because of the dead money in the pot.
Oh, it was 100 pre-flop. He's made so that
180, 80 to call.
So
You're getting a little over 2 to 1, and you have the Patrick factor that he could be betting with anything.
Okay.
well, he's going to get rid
I'm
of
going
it.
to make you one loose call.
But look at this. Scott's going to call with the gut shot and over cards. Wow.
I think he's got Ace 5.
Well, if Scott says he thinks he has ace 5, he shouldn't have called. Well, the turn is a 4.
No, I got nothing.
Exactly,
How many
Dave.
days?
And the river
nothing.
here
Jack
is
high.
6. I don't know if we can get a shot of the booth.
That's just terrible. I mean, what is he doing?
Nice job.
I don't understand what he's... Man, some of the plays people make, I don't
It's
understand.
astounding.
As nice as it gets for me,
It's
I
astounding.
guarantee you.
I'm going to call off $80 with Jack high. So he's getting 2.5 to 1 on his gut shot.
Take all our money.
See 5 minutes still good?
And he said that he thinks Patrick had ace 5.
Wow. I mean, the reason I said the 9-10 you can call that is because you're getting a little more than 2 to 1 on your money.
Right.
It's heads up, so you don't necessarily put him on a flush draw.
Yep.
And there is a chance that Patrick could have anything. Could have a pair of 7s, could have a pair of 8s, which would mean your 9 or 10 are good also.
Actually, I want to say that Sykes on 2+2 posted a comment a couple of minutes ago that Nicole actually had rebought at least one time. She said 2 times.
No, well, she's in there for 2 buy-ins.
She ends there for 2 buy-ins. So she's about even.
Right,
She's
exactly.
not up. So thank you for that. Remember, she got sucked out on earlier in the show.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was easy.
Patrick's going to move all in here with deuce 6 offsuit. Looks like $280. And Ricardo lays down the best hand there, king deuce.
See, now that's the value of it. At least, I mean, if you're going to do it with crap, at least there's some value because you might get somebody to lay down a better hand.
Strato.
And we got a straddle here by Patrick. See if he builds that chip stack up. He's got 10-7 offsuit in the straddle spot. Is that good enough to raise on him? We'll see.
10-7, that's, overqualified.
King Jack suited there for Scott Groves.
45.
And he's going to raise it up to 45.
And to be honest, I don't limp in.
And look at this. Patrick's going to move all in over the top.
I don't limp in.
And Scott instantly calls with King Jack.
Yeah, and that's playing Patrick.
Yeah. So King Jack against 10-7.
He's a favorite. I'll give him that.
Jack 4-8. He's hit top pair. Turns a 5. Patrick could catch a 9 here for a straight. Does not come.
Oh, son of a gun. I had it straight.
I have nothing. Any pair is good.
I call turn over your cards, Patrick.
I have 10 high.
Oh, there
I
we
call
go.
turn over your cards.
Now Scott's calling Patrick
Both
out,
cards.
Dave.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I mean, I like Scott, but it's a clown
Wait,
move.
10 high? Come on.
It's stupid. And Patrick and Scott knows
You're
Patrick.
slow rolling, you know.
Please, I told you I saw rolling. I told you I had nothing.
Oh, but you
Did you count my money?
I had 6-7.
Did you count my money? Don't tell me you cover.
see,
No,
you
this
just-
is interesting.
Okay,
This
so
has
you're
happened
slow
twice
and then
tonight.
You go, oh, I
Dave.
didn't have a pair, but I had a straight. And I don't like when you do stuff like
You
that.
must be
So.
thinking of someone else. I've never slow rolled.
And Scott is accusing Patrick of possibly slow rolling him,
I cover.
saying, "Oh, I have no pair, but maybe I have straight."
Well, I'm sure these two know each other,
They
very
do,
well.
but just I don't see a point in agitating somebody. You want him at the table.
Well, I think that maybe in Scott's defense, maybe what's happened in the past is Patrick will say, I don't have a pair, and then, flop over 2 pair or straight, and Scott just had enough of it.
Okay.
So, I'm
Yeah, no, I understand what
yeah.
you're saying.
Look at that, Patrick's coming back in for more in there in seat 2. I mean, if somebody did that to me last night, Dave,
Yeah.
do you see what I mean? Like, I might...
No, it does happen, without
yeah,
a doubt.
Yeah.
I know it happens.
Should have been the winning.
You're
hand.
big blind.
Suited, I like it.
It's going to buy in for 300 behind.
But Patrick didn't. It's not like he just said, "I have nothing. I have no pair." He said, "Any pair is good."
He did say that, you're right.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Check. Bet 50.
Take it.
45 more guys.
Seat 2 there, Patrick made it 50 to go
Total of 50.
out of the big blinds with 5-6
I already had
offsuit.
my $5 or $10 blind.
$5.
There we go.
Robert has called here with Queen 9.
Now, this is where Patrick can get dangerous because they both missed a flop, and Robert checks. Patrick's going to bet
Check.
big.
He checks blind. King 10-5, and Patrick's hit a pair. Robert has a gut shot, and it goes check, check there. It turns a 3. Wow.
What do I know?
Check, check again, and the river's a 5, and Patrick's made trips. And now he moves all in here, Dave. He moves all in.
And doesn't show.
Does not show. Patrick really likes to move all in with a hand that's very good. We've seen that a lot.
All right, job.
Maybe that's, trying to disguise it when he moves all in and other times when he's trying to bluff.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, he thinks And rightly so. He thinks, well, if this guy's going to call a $20 bet, he'll call a $200 bet sometimes. And sometimes people do that.
Maybe with something like pocket sixes or something like that.
Yeah, if you think the guy's bluffing, you know, whether it's $50 or $200, he's still bluffing.
You drive yourself crazy.
Twice Monday aces. $1,200 smaller pairs.
C2 is going to raise here again.
Raise it up. He happens to have a decent hand here. I mean, no, well, not really, but ace-7 of clubs is at least playable.
Okay, 2 players.
And Robert is called. He has him dominated. Flop comes out 10-4-3.
But they both miss.
Check.
Goes check here, Dave.
I already did yesterday.
Turns a deuce, and this is now not going to be a chop unless a straight card comes, right?
Yeah. Wow.
The camera adds 10 pounds. I'm already like 30 pounds overweight.
75.
Patrick checks, and now Robert bets 75, and Patrick calls.
How do you call this?
What lens you got in there? Is it
For Patrick.
Patrick needs a 7 here or a 5 to chop, right? And the river's a 5.
I'm already 20 pounds overweight. It's not a good size.
And Patrick moves all in with the wheel,
Call.
and Robert calls. And chop this one up, folks.
Okay, chop.
Wait, Robert got really unlucky there with that river, huh?
Yeah, although if it's I wonder if it was a blanket, Patrick would have made the same move. I don't know. You know, if it's a jack out there, what does Patrick do? Who knows? Once again, if you want to email us, you can email us at live@thebike.com. We do read them. We do appreciate them.
Can I buy the button?
Yeah.
And if you want to follow a live thread, you can go to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Go to forums, go to World Poker Tour and other events, and click on the Live at the Bike thread for October 17th.
Yeah. Of course, if you want to watch this show and every other show that we have saved, Dave, we have every show. You can sign up for the archives by clicking on the archive banner at liveatthebike.com.
Chase me out of here.
Maintain.
It was interesting. Sometimes people would say, "Well, I'm here. Where are the archives?" And it would be like, "Well, it's the on-demand banner."
Yeah.
Well, they're like, "Well, why don't you guys make it more clear?" Okay, click on the archive banner. It's right there.
You ask, we receive. We give.
60 total.
We have a $60 raise here.
From Patrick?
8 deuce off suit.
Oh, the
Don't
straddle.
have straddle. It's 2 chip.
And the pot was straddled, if I'm getting word?
Yes.
Straddled by, I guess it would have been Ricardo over there in seat 8.
Everybody folded?
Yes.
And Robert's going to call him with 7-10 here, Dave. Wow. Patrick's got him in got position. Wow, ace, queen, jack. Oh, and it goes check, check. Turns an ace.
Do it.
I'm not sure what Patrick's doing here.
And the river's a 6. And now he bets 100. Well, lucky for him, there's just Robert Mox. And aces with a queen, jack, 10 would have played there, huh, Dave?
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely. What I just didn't understand, though, is Patrick was playing it really well before and very successful before because he would raise it pre-flop and then follow through and stay aggressive on the flop and the turn.
Right. Yeah, and now he seems to be shutting down a little bit.
Well, he checks twice, lets the guy get there, and then obviously not quite as...
Luckily for him, the guy had nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes Patrick will come into a stud high-low table too, Dave.
I've played with him.
Yeah.
40.
He's going to raise it up to 45 here. 9-7 of hearts.
And unlike no limit hold'em, stud high-low, or even limit hold'em, is not a game you can bully.
No.
So we welcome him with open arms whenever it comes.
Jack 9-4. He's got an open. He's got second pair. He bets 100. And look at Robert. He'd been playing tight all night, but now he keeps calling pre-flop raises from Patrick. Twice he called the 7-10. And he had him dominated, but Patrick outflopped him.
Yeah. Calling big raises from Patrick and then hoping you hit is not usually going to make you money. getting word that Shirley Rosario is actually playing on PokerStars right now.
Ah.
Playing a little Omaha high-low. Well, if she's listening to us, hello.
Hello, Shirley. Of course, her she announces her username out, right? Doesn't she?
I don't know.
All right, I won't announce it over here. People don't know.
Well, somebody knew it was her, so
Yeah.
I assume she probably uses some sort of poker babe.
Now Patrick raised here. This time he's got Ace Jack to 40, and Ryan called him with 3-6, and he's picked up second pair. And he's gonna bet.
100.
Bets 100.
Yeah, right here.
And the thing here is that I'm not necessarily going to make a move against Patrick, because if he's really steaming, he might call me with the deuce
that's
here,
my
Dave.
deuce. Yeah.
Something
He might
like
call
ace
me.
deuce.
He could call me with 9 high, which
Yeah.
I can't beat. Well, why are you calling a range with 6-3 of hearts?
I can't beat your low.
I think he said I can't beat your low.
I can't beat it.
Not yet.
That's what I thought.
It was a draw.
Well, he had backdoor low possibilities there, Dave. King Jack deuce.
Why all that?
Yeah, well, yeah.
You're.
In the tank. He's always in the tank.
They're just shocked at the flop. next time it's gonna be like 2, 3, 4.
And we do get some people on 2+2 who are anxious. They want to see us play, obviously.
Right.
And obviously see if we can actually play like we talk.
Talk the walk, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
50.
hopefully at some point we will get a commentators game together. Or
How'd you like to win?
maybe we'll get the B team in here and we'll get out there.
Absolutely.
Get a bulletproof.
What makes it different?
Does anybody remember the B team out there? I thought I would see some more support here on the 2+2 thread. You guys scroll back to the threads from mid.
feeling at the
Was it early July?
darker. You know what I mean?
Early July.
There's light in the ceiling. It's just gorgeous. All the decor is gorgeous.
He said, no, I haven't
I mean, I gotta tell you, I'm starving. What is Patrick eating?
Really?
What's Patrick eating there? Fries?
There, French fries,
Oh,
hamburger.
hamburger.
Got a lot of ketchup there.
I am starving.
Better than any play.
Bulletproof football water. Oh, thanks.
Talk the walk the talk. To pull the old switcheroo. I don't know if anyone saw some of the Seinfeld syndication episodes the last couple nights. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. What is a gander, anyways?
I don't know, but I always mix it. Like I said, I always mix it. My sayings are the worst. Like I'll be like, it's like calling the pot the kettle. I mean, I say things really stupid all the time.
Patrick raised here with ace-6, and he's going to take it down.
And there he is. Patrick.
He took down a shootout that we did a couple months ago.
Yeah.
For how much was that? Was it 40,000?
He won. Yeah, he won. It was a $50,000 shootout,
Yeah.
and he won the big end of it, which was $35,000.
Okay. And then he finished really high in a Legends event, didn't he?
Yep.
Like he won tens of thousands of
Something
dollars.
like that. He also he won a tournament over at a different casino.
Now,
A big one.
Pocket aces here for Ricardo. Do you limp in and let Patrick do the raising? It's straddled in C3. Patrick's in the big blind.
Probably.
You would? You would just limp and let Patrick raise?
Why not?
And he does. He does limp with aces.
And if he doesn't raise, well, then you just know you can get away from it real easy.
Now, Patrick has Jack-4 offsuit, and he is eating. That's the only thing. People tend to tighten up, but he's going to raise it, Dave. I don't think he's even looked at his cards.
2 more hundreds.
He makes it 200, so Ricardo has him right where he wants him.
Well, I mean, that's where Patrick's... And he's raised so much
Yeah.
that
And there you go.
there's no way he's going to get away from the hand now.
All in.
And anytime you see a limp from out back and now an all-in.
Well, that's where Patrick traps himself.
Yeah.
If you play with Patrick for more than like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
you can pick this up and you go, oh, I'll limp in with anything big.
Right.
Let him raise, and then I'll do this.
And it's like 400, so we got an $800 pot here, Dave.
I wish I would have hit my little
Jack-4 against pocket aces.
Call?
No, I hate King Jack.
Here we go.
The hand usually knocks me out.
And Patrick's in bad shape here.
Well,
Some
now
sort-
with the board pairing, it's real bad.
Oh, he's drawing dead.
Turns to 7.
You're
That's
right, Wayne Tang. You're right.
River's a 4. Once that board pairs, he is... I mean, with Jack-4, with that flop, Dave.
Oh, he needs 10 king.
Yeah.
10-8.
He just keeps eating.
Chop, chop.
I bet you don't know what it raised.
I thought you got ace king back there.
It's one of the few times, I was saying it before, oftentimes when you sit down in a game, you want to be behind to the left of a maniac, you know, a real action player. But this is one of the cases where he's so predictable that you don't mind being before him because you know exactly what he's going to do. And you can play accordingly.
I swear to God.
The lucky massager, huh?
So Ricardo doubles
Same
through
thing
right
other
there.
devil, right?
It was interesting. I thought that because that was so uncoordinated, and because it smelled like somebody could have limped him with a big hand, I didn't think that Patrick was actually going to raise that hand.
Yeah, once in a while he gets caged like that and he doesn't raise, but
We got a $35 raise here by Scott Groves. He's got ace 9 and seat 9.
what do you mean by so uncoordinated?
Jack 4 offsuit.
Oh, right. I see what you mean.
His hand.
The hand being so uncoordinated,
Yeah.
right.
Albert's going to call. He has the same hand.
I think your first guess was right, though. I don't even know if he looked.
Yeah. I never saw him look because he was eating the whole time. And look at this, Ricardo's in there with 9-6, and boy, is he in trouble. Ace King 5.
Wow, Patrick's not in the hand.
Nope. Scott's going to bet about the size of the pot. He makes it 100.
So it's $200 pot now, 100 to call.
Got it.
And how do you play it if you're Albert here?
Oh, man.
Ace 9
We
is
saw
tough
Albert
hand.
muck an ace against Nicole earlier.
Well, Ace 9 is, you know,
Do you want to get involved?
he's got no backdoor like club draw, and you might be drawing dead. I mean, not dead, but you might be drawing. Well, almost. I mean, if the guy's Ace King, you're really in bad shape.
And he gets rid of it.
Nice hand.
There you go.
Ace queen of hearts.
Hey, I got to tell you one thing. Elizabethtown, great soundtrack. Cameron Crowe movies, the best music. Really good.
Thank you. Nice hand.
So you actually do stuff before you come to work, huh?
Well, I don't get to work till like 4 o'clock.
My problem is I'd probably just be sleeping. That's why I changed my hours to 1 o'clock.
All gotta be there.
Well, right, if you're going to sleep late anyway, you might as well come in at 1
Right.
and stay up late. No, I actually get up. I usually get up every morning about 9:30.
Oh, sorry.
I can see our producer glaring at us from the front.
50.
Why would she glare at us? What did we say?
I think she wakes up at about 5 in the morning. Button has raised here, Patrick. Ace 6. He made it 50.
That's it.
Ricardo's going to come in with Jack 10. Now, Robert has Ace Jack. Is he going to pull the limp raise? And I think he is, Dave. He said raise. And I think Patrick already has his chips out there to call. Instantly.
Yeah, he's right. He haven't.
You're betting out of turn.
So Robert pulled the limp re-raise.
And Patrick's in bad shape.
115.
Oh, you didn't know.
115 more.
Come on,
Right,
6.
115.
And what is Ricardo going to do here with Jack 10?
That's it. Only in. Exactly 115.
I assume that Ricardo's going to get away from this.
Hello, pickles and nuts.
He is.
So
Come on,
Well,
6.
Yeah, 6 is going to have to come here for Patrick.
kind of a little one.
Or a diamond flush.
Maybe they'll buy since I'm playing this.
Here we go.
I'll pay.
10-9-5.
No help.
Turns the deuce. Looks like a 6 and a 6 only.
Boom.
And the river is an ace, and Ace Jack is going to play.
There's ace 9, see?
Patrick says you rivered me.
See, he drew that hand out there too. He made like $800. Don't listen.
Oh, on that 9-10 of clubs? Negative.
So is Patrick going to rebuy here?
I couldn't have got hurt for any more.
did you in or you eating? Eating, right?
I mean,
Well, look at that. Shirley has actually announced her screen name, and there's a pic of her in her avatar.
I guess that we can announce her now. On Stars, it's Siren
What is it, Siren?
with an S, yeah.
That's some confidence. I don't think I'm confident enough in myself to actually put my picture up.
I have a little live at the bike avatar.
Can I use your picture? I can put Bart's picture.
I have a live at the bike avatar up on Stars.
Do you?
A card protector.
100.
Took a little shot of that.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah. Looks like Ryan is going to raise it up here on the button. Ace Queen. I don't know if Shirley has an account on 2+2. I've never seen her post. So if she's listening to the show. And looks like C1's got pocket eights. He's going to make the call. And
Actually, I think it's 9-8.
oh, 9-8 off
9-8
suit.
off
Wow,
suit.
Patrick's in there with Queen 6. We don't know how much money he has behind. I think Patrick might have made a short buy. He might be all in for 100.
I think he is.
Robert checks.
Check.
10-7-9 here. He's got a pair and a straight draw. The turn is a 7.
Not that much.
Well, Robert checked the flop. When the button checked right behind him, now it is time to bet the turn here, Dave.
Yeah, and this is one of those cases where you have a pair, you have to protect your hand if you
Right.
think your hand is the best hand.
Side pot.
It's not a tournament where you want to
Right.
knock somebody out.
We can't continue to let free overcards come to the gun.
No, of course not.
Especially if you think now he's got ace king, ace queen, which he does.
Okay, check the side pot.
And he must. And Patrick looks like, well, he could catch an 8 here, right? Well, the river's a 4.
2 pair.
2 pair.
6s?
And 8-9 is good.
Yeah, what I want to get.
Look at Ryan over there in C3. He just can't be pleased.
And 5. Can't do that.
He's up about $300 on the night, though.
I would have played and I would have lost. Sucks.
I don't remember what I have.
It won't have been more.
So Robert's got some interesting pre-flop, you know,
Strato, line strato.
hands that he plays there, Dave.
Yeah,
Pre-flop.
he is not real tight pre-flop.
360.
$100 raise there with 8-9 off suit. And Patrick, I think he has to buy in for the minimum now at least, right? Because he just did a short buy.
Yeah.
He's going to buy in for 300 this time. He's got Queen 8 off suit in C2.
Call.
And he calls, he limps in here.
And I'm trying to figure it out. I think he was up about 1,000, and then he came back in the game, won another 700, and then left the game. So he's up 1,700. And I want to say that he's in now for his
Check.
third buy-in. 300, 300, 100, and now 300.
6 player.
Close.
Deuce 8.
We've got 6-way action here. Limped around. King, deuce 9.
I think Nicole's got the best hand here, huh?
That is an interesting way how she spells her name, huh?
Got 40.
She's just trying to be cool. She is cool, though. She's actually a really cool girl.
Well, Ricardo actually has top 2 pair. He has the best hand. He bets 40.
Technicalities.
Bet 40, it won't go.
Doesn't look like he's going to get any action.
Yeah.
Protection for me.
Looks like he's getting a massage. And like you said, Russ Fox actually redeemed his massage on Friday, didn't he?
Yes, yes. I gave him a 30-minute massage.
You did?
Well, I paid for his 30-minute massage. Sorry.
Trying to prevent a diamond draw coming in there.
Isn't your wife a massage therapist?
My wife is a masseuse, yes.
Blank.
So you could have actually had her come down here. You wouldn't really have to pay at all.
Yeah, I suppose I could have, or I could have told him to go to my wife's place of work, place of employment.
45. Wing king.
Patrick has raised here to 35. He's got King, Queen of Diamonds. Now, C1's got Ace 8 of Hearts here, Dave, and for some reason I might have a feeling if a couple people call in between that he might pull the limp re-raise.
You think so?
Yeah, I do. Let's see. We've got 3 callers in between.
3 callers
now.
now.
It's 4. Now, what does he do with the Ace 8?
35, you
I have
got
an excuse. I already had $5 invested.
Looks like he's just going to call.
Okay, he's just going to call.
It's not that bad.
So 35 times 6.
Wow.
$210 pot. Not bad.
player.
7 times more, whatever. Wow.
8-5-4 rainbow.
Well, Robert's hit top pair.
Ryan has an open-ended straight draw, and Nicole has a set. And Robert bets here.
Like a book.
It was a $210 pot. He bets
Hey, this is going to be a huge pot.
145. Ryan's got a straight draw. Nicole has a set.
Click on over, folks, and watch this one.
145. It's a $350 pot. 145 to call.
Now, the only reason you might not want to call it the 6-3 here is if a 7 comes, are you scared of a higher straight? But probably not.
He makes the call. Let's see if Nicole moves all in. Let's see if she moves all in. It's a rainbow board.
They're
She's
pretty
on the button.
deep.
And she does. She makes the move all in. That's probably what I would have done.
There's the one that someone's going to be.
She moves all in. She's got about 1,000 in front of her. Muck and a muck. So it's about it was 500 before the all in. And look at that. Well,
Robert throws it away.
ace-8.
And now if you're Ryan, you have the money, but the problem is he's got way too much money in front of him to make the call.
Well, if he has 500 in front of, if he has 600 in front of him, Dave, that means that Nicole bets equates to about 600. So it's an $1,100 pot, 600 for him to call.
Right.
And if you put her on a set or already a made straight, and the way she plays, I got to put her on a minimum of a set.
I mean, I suppose she could have 4-5.
Yeah. But he's getting about, what, a little under 2-1 with 2 cards to come?
Yeah, I just don't think you can call this. Because you got to put her on the range of hands, and if she has 6-7, you're drawing dead.
Yeah.
If she has a set, you could hit your straight and still lose.
Right. Look at her chomp down that watermelon.
Yeah. She looks very relaxed. Since she's taken so long to think about it, she knows she's good. She knows she doesn't have 6-7.
Can we get a clock, please?
Patrick calls for a clock again.
I'm only asking because I know they don't have a clock here.
No, when you need it, the flowman came by.
Well, Patrick's having a good time. Give him that. I mean, he's up at 1,200 before. He's down 600 now, but he's having a good time. That's what it's all
Again, the
about.
pot is about 1,100. It's 600 for him to call, which would in essence, which is the rest of his money. And actually, he only has, he's got 600 in front of him.
Right.
So.
Well, she actually put more money in, but he doesn't cover it. Now, if he only had like $300 in front of him, then it would be 300 to win like 900, and he's getting 3-1, and then maybe you can start thinking, okay.
But the more money that he has, the odds
go down, right?
Go down or reduced. Well, he has a backdoor spade draw as well.
I'm surprised how quickly Robert threw it away. I thought Robert would get himself in trouble on that one.
It's actually like 7. Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
But that's already gone.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing is, this is a smaller game, yet you see Robert throw away ace-8. In our big game on Friday night, there are players that would
Never
could burn the table and they'd never throw it away.
They might go. I mean, there's some players that might go all in, for $10,000.
Exactly.
Barry Woods, maybe. I mean, not to pick on Barry, but we've seen him make huge calls with
Without a
just top
doubt,
pair.
he might have called that with ace-8.
Yeah.
Schwinn.
But I mean, is Jesus going to throw away ace-8 here? Is Ed going to throw away ace-8
Well,
here?
actually, you know what? That's right. That's about.
Is Alan?
You said 3 car payments. It's about $250. Yeah. I see it on TV. They have some.
He's got 600 in front of him. She moves all in, which means it's a $600 bet. The pot is 1,100, and it costs him 600 to call.
Did Patrick actually call a clock on this guy? How much time
I
did he
thought
left?
he did.
No kidding. No,
Well, so they have to give him a countdown. I mean, they have to at least count him down from at least 20.
60,
How
50.
much time does he have left? Yes. So how much
Count him
time?
down from 15 now there,
How
Donna.
much time?
What do you mean?
Well, you
you
gotta-
haven't given him a
We
time.
already put him on the clock.
No, you have to watch. We're looking to watch.
Okay. Then I'm going to give him some more time then.
1 minute.
I think we should really count him down from about 15 now.
I don't think he's going to call this. I don't know how he can.
And he makes the call, Dave. He's going to call with a straight draw. The turn's an ace. He's got a flush draw now, and the river is a 4, and she fills up, and he's no
I knew it,
good.
middle set. God, I'm a genius. We're drawing dead, huh?
Well, and Scott, I knew you had a middle set. I'm a genius. Like, it was that hard to figure out. Nicole moved in. I mean, what else could she have?
Yeah, but the beach balls.
I mean, I wouldn't buy 6-7 either, because why would she play it so hard? So you put her on a set or 2 pair. I mean,
Thank you, Rin Tang.
wow, he really picked up a lot of draws with that ace of spades, huh? Any spade, any deuce, any 7.
Thank you.
I've thrown it away.
And now she is a big winner, Dave.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge pot.
Exactly.
That was actually, I want to say, what, a $1,700 pot she took down?
Yeah. You know what he has? You sure what he has?
Yeah, the runner flush draw.
But even if you're against, top pair there, even if you're against ace-8 with 3-6, I mean, what are the odds there with 2 cards to come? You've got 8 outs, and
got
then
8 outs.
running. You've got running combination for 2
You're pretty much going to win that pot probably 30, 32% of the
you
time.
don't really even have the odds to call then.
No, that's
I mean, that's why I don't
even if
understand
she
why
turns
it's
over
so
ace,
long.
even if she turns over ace 8. Well, and the thing is, goes ace 8 or 5-4 or set. He still needs the same straight. He still has the same straight draw no matter what.
You can't take the 5 out once it's in.
You want it?
Now, what would have been interesting? Imagine Nicole's played it a little
Did I
slower,
straddle by
and
any
the turn
chance?
comes out an ace of spades.
Did you straddle?
Not only does she get all of Ryan's
did,
money in
so I guess I would have the
C3,
odds
she gets all of
to
Robert's money.
Yeah,
Because Robert
aces
would have
up.
made 2 pair, and there's no way Ryan could get away with it because now he's got a straight draw and a flush draw.
I could have seen it.
Wow.
45.
Hey, is the mic no longer on the table? Now the mic's on that camera
45
thing?
more.
Yeah.
And we've got a raise here
Okay.
and a straddled pot.
Cleared out
I
with,
believe
like,
it was by C3 with
Don't
king
bet all
8.
your money on a draw.
And look at this, it flops straight. And he checks it. 7-3 flops a straight, and now a scare card comes on the turn.
I check.
And he checks it again.
Maybe he has 4 ounces.
And that's actually Patrick in seat 3.
Fill the pot.
He bets 50, and now Robert's going to check raise. So Robert checked the flop with the flop straight.
That's a pretty good book.
Patrick checked behind him.
I haven't been getting any
Patrick's
lately.
bet now 50 on the turn. He's made it 100 to go. He's
I
check
have a,
raised.
pretty good
7-3. Hand worked well for Joseph Hashi.
In fact, he could actually win here if he spiked a 7 on the river.
Wait, first you have to think about it for half an hour.
He's got a gut shot.
And then you have to say, yes, I will commit all my chips to a shitty draw.
He has a flush draw, or else he has a...
And that's actually Scott Grove saying that after he called an $80 bet with Jack High.
And Patrick's going to move all in. He moves all in. And Robert calls, and the river is a 10.
I only have 50 left.
Oh, excuse me. Patrick's got 50 left.
And he just called.
Well, there's a bet here. He's going to bet the rest. So Patrick only has king high.
I
He's
don't
going to
have
call
a
off
draw.
his last $50 with King High.
Well,
See what he's up
if you put him on hearts, it didn't get there.
He called him
Yeah.
just to see what he had.
There we go.
All right.
There you go. Add some more to Robert's stack.
He gave away the last 50 just to see what the guy had.
Right.
I love that.
Okay, dealer,
Hey, we got a question from Grey
you've
Wolf.
been really bad.
On 2+2.
Yeah, on 2+2. I was wondering, Dave and Bart, how long have you guys been playing Hold'em? I just started about a week and a half ago.
Oh, really?
They told me I was qualified, so I figured, hey, I'll do this.
And Big Ben on 2+2 now says, how much has Patrick lost? Let's do some quick calculations.
Yeah, Big Ben's actually, I think he's still up, actually. That's another buy-in he's lost now. So he's lost 1,000 since his last. He's now had 3 trips to the game.
Well, it looks like he's walking away now.
And there he is. And he was down about 1,000 in this trip. But he was up, I want to say, 1,500 in the last 2 trips. So I think he's actually still up 500.
I can actually call a small raise now that Patrick's gone.
But the night's young. Don't worry.
15 clearly meant.
Now, Nicole's got pocket aces, and she raises it up to 15.
Yes, you can't count on Patrick there anymore, huh?
Yeah. And 4-way action, so $60 pot.
Wayne, I'm not getting the stuff I need.
Queen 10 deuce. Well,
Scott's got the same shitty draw that he just
open-ended.
ripped Ryan on.
And Nicole's going to bet 60, the size of the pot.
County, not acting.
See if Scott makes a move here.
If I was acting, it would be much better.
I just have to find out. I'm sorry.
It's a $120 pot.
120.
And he's going to raise it up to 120 here.
I like the play. I got to tell you, I like the play by Scott.
Now, if Nicole comes over the top here, will he have the odds to call? Let's see. Let's see how Nicole plays. $60 bet. Scott raises it to 120. And she tells him that she has an overpair. She tells him. And she
I
just
got to play with
calls.
Nicole more often.
And are they just going to check it down again? And Nicole thinks that she's lost. But
Well,
she
there's
hasn't.
nothing she can beat. She can't beat a queen or a 10 anymore.
Right.
If you go all in,
I go, yeah.
I mean, what's interesting there, if they don't decide to just check it down,
Right.
if she checks the turn and he bets big, can she call him?
Well, yeah, because he's representing top pair. Right?
Exactly. And so now there are 2 players at the table that Nicole doesn't really play with.
I was
Interesting.
going to be rude and bet 100 on the river, but I figured then we wouldn't be friends.
But to further answer Grey Wolf, so actually, I think I've been playing Hold'em. I've been playing poker my whole life. Probably playing Hold'em probably about, I want to say about 5.5 years. Or so, 5 years. And He wanted to know if I was a pro or semi-pro. I don't know what the difference is, but I'm a professional poker player. So,
Okay, go ahead.
are you semi-pro or pro?
Well, I guess if I do it for a living, I'd be a pro.
Right. I have no idea what the difference is semi-pro and pro.
20 more.
Right. Okay. I guess a semi-pro is a waiter slash or a bartender slash poker player.
Now, George brought it in here for 20. Suited connector. And he was straddled, Dave, to come back into the game, and he made it 20 more out of the straddle spot.
Fine.
Okay.
Okay, check.
And looks like Albert has a flush draw. Got checked around. Turn is the 6 of spades. Now Albert has a pair and a flush draw. And now he bets from early position. He bets 30. George is open-ended now. He's going to call.
And not even the nut one.
And we are heads up.
It's draw against draw.
I don't know.
Well, Albert has a pair, and the river's a 3.
Oh, thank you.
And goes check, check. Pair with the draw against draw without a pair.
Right.
Pair with the draw wins.
Yeah, always.
Yep.
Got 2 pairs.
Now, if he'd raised that draw instead of just called with it, he probably would have won the pot. Once again, we are live at the bike, folks. We're watching No Limit Hold'em. Blinds are 5 and 5. I'm David Tuckman, and I'm here with Bart Hansen.
Looks like our buddy Jonas is on the thread, Dave, monitoring the thread. Riverboat King.
Cool.
Hello, Jonas. Hopefully we can get him into the game again on Wednesday.
I haven't seen Jonas play in a while, actually.
And there actually was a question on here about what we were going to do. Are we going to do 25-50? We don't know yet because of the tournament that's going on.
Wednesday's game, you mean?
Wednesday's game.
Right, there's obviously a big tournament going on at the Bellagio.
Yep.
And
although I can see that Yosh is here, so
Yosh is here, but Tuan Lee and Hassan Habib and all those guys aren't here. So
we got a raise here by Scott Groves. He's got pocket queens. He made it 40 to go, I believe. And Robert called him with queen 7 suited.
Well, it's about even money here, right?
Yeah.
In fact, there's another 10 that shows up. Which makes me 30 more?
Yes.
And Nicole has $2,200.
Wow. And Ricardo's going to join. He's going to join the party. We don't see. He's got 8-10 offsuit. And look at that flop for queen 7.
Well, now Scott got lucky because a king flopped.
Yeah, he bet 75. Yeah, if that was Jack 7-7.
Now, do you just smooth call here?
It's not really a connected board.
Right, and you have position on the guy. The guy's got to bet into you, continually bet into you, because the button is in seat 5.
He does just smooth
So Scott's got to continue to bet into you. I don't mind the smooth call there, because there's nothing really scary that can come out.
You got a 7, boss? I'll
Except
check.
for an ace.
Yeah. And then Scott says, you got a 7, boss, I'll check. And he just can't beat
You got
anything.
absurdly lucky, my friend. What do you got, king 10? King 10's good.
And Scott doesn't realize how badly, what a bad beat he had. And he shows at queen 7.
Oh, you drawing to 1 out twice. That's awesome. I love that.
But again, Scott, you're lucky that a king came on the flop and then an ace on the turn.
Oh, yeah, if it comes out like 7-7,
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Nice hand.
And again, like you said, if the flop comes out 7-7 deuce with 2 clubs, well, I make the same mini raise with the 7 than I do with the flush draw.
Right.
And then what does he do?
No, without a
You
doubt.
know.
Without a doubt. Now, 7-7 deuce obviously is a better time to raise there.
Right.
Because the odds of another overcard coming can kill your action. If the
Right.
guy has pocket 9s or
Right.
pocket 10s.
Right.
Now, when there's already a king out there, okay, if the guy's got aces, it doesn't make a difference. If the guy has under kings, and the king's already going to kill your action anyway.
25?
25 more.
Looks like Nicole raised it to 25 here with pocket 5.
I mean, if Robert raises the flop there, I don't think Scott can call anyway.
Right. Not a bad flop for pocket 5s. 8-6-3. Looks like she has the best hand.
Yeah, you
Ricardo's got a gut shot. It's a $100 pot. She bets 45, Dave. Kind of a weak bet.
You know what's interesting? She's up about 1,200 tonight, and if she doesn't soft play George and soft play Scott, she's probably up about 27. I mean, probably up like 1,700.
Well, Scott makes the call with pocket deuces. He's in big trouble. And Robert calls there with just overcards. Turn is a jack.
110.
And now Scott puts a bet in here with pocket deuces. He bets $110.
Yeah, he's representing, I guess, a jack.
And look at that. He takes it down. Nice play there by Scott.
Well, when you have pocket 5s, you get called in 2 spots.
Yeah.
You don't like your 5s anymore.
Yeah.
Interesting turn, though. I mean, I'm wondering what he was representing there. What do you think? I mean, Jack doesn't really complete any draw.
Rosemary, right?
And again, Dave, you know, talking about the 2+2 thread, that guy Jive Dadson, he's back, but we haven't heard from him much over the last week. Kind of took a vacation, then he's kind of still in his own fantasy vacation.
Maybe he thinks we're really good now.
Wow. Could be.
What are the odds of that happening?
It, though.
Cody.
You can watch with your friends when you get home.
And there's some action going on in the casino. I can only assume that maybe another jackpot has been hit.
Could have been the football game.
Home run. Go Dodgers!
We want hit here.
We got pocket aces here by Albert. Made it 30 to go. George is called. We can't see his cards there in seat 7. Robert's in there in seat 1 with pocket 9.
Raise.
And Robert, he's going to raise it up with 9s. George has got pocket 5s.
I'm all there.
And look at this. He raises it up to 125, and Albert moves all in over the top instantly.
Albert actually said I'm all in before Robert even put those chips in there.
And look at this. I think Robert said he called. Without a second thought, he calls with pocket 9s.
Oh, he picked up a
Jack
draw.
8. 10 would do it, and 9 would do it. Turns a deuce, he needs a 10 or a 9. And the river's a jack, and that's no good. And Albert has Robert covered.
Woo! Yes.
And that's a big pot.
Okay, let me see. I think you got some luck.
Oh, that we're talking about. That was probably $1,400 pot there.
Wow.
Because those are larger
I
than
move
$20
all
stacks.
in for 700 with pocket 9s? Well, I mean, actually, he didn't move all in. He raised. Seat 5 moved all in, and he just called with 9s, Steve.
Now, I like the raise pre-flop. Find out where you're at with pocket 9s, right? Well, you found out. You're behind.
Oh, man.
10 on the river.
I mean, are you going to call off $700 hoping for a race?
10 on the river, you're in trouble.
Yes.
I mean, how often do you put the guy on an underpair there?
Yeah, exactly. You're not playing against Patrick there. You're playing against Albert, and Albert's played it pretty straightforward all
Now,
night.
and we were also privy to the information. We've seen him lay down top pair several times tonight. I don't know if
Yeah, but what's he moving? Okay, he raises, then you re-raise, and then he moves all in. What's he doing it with?
Yeah.
What? Ace 4? You know, pocket 2s, pocket 3s? What's he doing?
And now, I mean, he's up there in chips, too, right along with Nicole.
Oh, that's a huge pot.
Yeah, it is. Makes me wonder. I'm trying to think what was the biggest pot we've ever had in this game.
I like my hand
Well,
better.
we got the makings of it here. I mean, we got a $2,200 from Nicole, and he's probably got close to, I want to say close to 2,000 right now.
No way.
And he's probably the big winner now because he's only in there for one buy-in.
Right, he never did a rebuy tonight.
Can't even take a chunk out of you guys.
2.5.
Man.
I mean, seat 1, I mean, okay, like you said, you make that raise for information, but come on, pocket 9s? $700 pre-flop?
I mean, and
That one
are you hoping the guy has ace-king?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't understand the play.
Basically, she had a set, and the other guy was a donkey. That's all you need to know.
Alright, well, I knew that before.
A very bad call by the
It was
opponent.
a donkey against Seabiscuit, and the Seabiscuit won.
Is that how that goes? She's the season.
I'm lucky that his 7 didn't come, otherwise I would have been.
Bitter?
7 or what?
Your hand,
Ace or
your
deuce?
Deuce.
Couple
Or
limpers
spade.
here.
No, the turn gave him spade, so it gave him, he had runner spades.
And seat 1 is moving all in.
And we've seen this all the time. Players lose a big pot, they have $100 left, and they kind of piss away the last 100.
Now, am I wrong, or did he actually have seat 5 covered?
No, he did. He actually had.
Oh,
'cause he had about $700, and
Okay.
Albert had like 620, I would say.
So he's
not
got a
this
little
time,
bit
my
left.
friend. I had 8 high. He dominated.
These are the best food.
But we've seen that. I see this all the time. They have like $100 left, and they just want to like basically give it away, like as if they're, they're out of it already.
Well, the weird thing about this is that this game doesn't play like our other no-limit restricted games where you need to be under a certain amount to rebuy. Like in the 200 game, you actually need to be under 100 to bring your stack up to 300. Same thing with the 100 game. So people will gamble it up when they're right around that area. Well, you can always bring your stack up to 500 here.
Yeah, and if you feel yourself, if you lose a big hand and you feel yourself wanting to give away your last 100, take a walk. Go to the bathroom, splash some water in your face, come back, buy in for a couple of more $100, and play for
I was
real.
very upset the other day. I went to Best Buys, and they were sold out of Toto's greatest hits.
Who's?
Toto's greatest hits. I wanted to bless the rain.
Toto's
Bless the
I mean,
rain.
especially in a game like this where, if you win $30 an hour, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
The singer OD, right? One of them.
Seat 6 is raised here to 25. Is Scott Groves talking about trying to buy Toto's greatest hits at Best Buy?
What about that crowd?
A little 80s music?
No, I mean, I might do that too, but I don't admit it.
Right.
My card deal.
I want
And we're going to see this pop 4 ways. Albert's flop trip kings. King, 3. Ricardo has a club draw. Let's see if he's bets it with the 3 kings. So he plays it slow, Dave. And Ricardo takes a card, I believe. So we've seen Albert slow play his trips a couple of times tonight.
Well, most players do.
Turn is an 8.
Well, Robert's actually got an 8 here, and Robert could go broke on his hand.
Albert bets 50. I mean, you're mid-position with King Jack. There's no guarantee that Nicole's going to bet behind you, or Ricardo. I just don't understand why you don't bet
And there you go. See,
yeah, but bet Nicole.
Robert's gonna get himself in trouble here.
River is a deuce. Check.
I'll go 50 again.
And Albert's going to bet 50.
I got a king, yeah.
And yeah, Robert.
And Robert calls off the rest of his money.
There you go.
That was a pretty easy trap there, huh?
Yeah.
Let me just let Robert catch an 8, and then I'll trap take all his money.
What's the Toto song? I Miss the Rain Down in Africa?
It's called Africa.
Africa. Is that how the lyrics go? I miss the rain down in Africa?
Yeah, go ahead and sing it. Come on.
I
miss the rain down in Africa.
And then there was another one too, right?
Toto, yeah, there's a great song. Yeah, Rosanna. Rosanna. I'm actually going to release a CD, folks. You can get the Live at the Bike Greatest Hits songs by David Tuckman.
They only have 10 minutes left. It's not kind of flew, huh?
Yeah, I'm doing my best to kill our listeners here.
Yeah, I was afraid that if I bet...
My wife's actually threatened me. She said if I ever sing in the house, ever, she'll divorce me. I don't understand why, though.
Sure.
What's the bet?
It's 5.
And when he bet, I said I knew he had...
Well, Halloween is around the corner. Doing my best to frighten everybody.
But I was more afraid of he could have had
We've
the full house.
got three-way
already,
action here. It's been linked around.
Had he had the full house, and I'd probably catch my...
See, one wanted to buy 1,500 chips, Dave, for getting worried.
I got to tell you, if I'm at that table, I don't object.
Yeah, who cares? Especially if I'm Nicole, right?
That's what I said. Look at us. We're like
Ace 9
we're like
8.
taking a knife to a gunfight over here.
I'm just making sure.
Albert's got the best hand here with an 8. He's got bottom pair.
If you go on the 500 table, you can buy it for as much.
Turns to 7, but Bill's picked up an open-ended straight draw.
Yeah, Albert's got the same one.
Albert bets.
We can use some air. We got the vent there.
Take it.
And the other's what?
Maximum buy-in. The other one is a 5. The minimum
If I start
buy-in.
dripping, it's because I got
No,
to
no
you
max.
can buy 1,000.
Where is it?
It's the first table.
Is there a seat open?
I don't think so right now, but if you tell somebody at the front, you can put your name on the board.
I think Robert wants to play bigger, Dave.
Well, I got to tell you,
He's not
our
happy about
webcast
this.
ends in about 15 minutes, and he might move to the 500 game or the 1,000 game, and if he does, I'll be following him.
Okay.
Next time.
One time. This will be my second loose ball. On me? For $5.
I don't think this is worth
New player there in seed
Go.
Must be facing
4.
the rag.
George is going to raise here out of the line.
And his name is
He's in process.
Mark.
That's a loose call right
Got
there.
Mark
See, I
there
knew
in
it was
seat
coming
4.
eventually.
So George raises out of the blind. He's got 6-5 offsuit. Scott's got 10-8 suited. And new player there in seat 4's got Jack 9. He wants to
I
call.
have to put that one in.
King 5-4. See if George takes a shot. He's got a pair.
Well, he raised, right?
Yeah, he raised out of the blind. He bets.
When he does raise with garbage, he generally does follow through with the raise.
He bets 65.
Dude, my bad call's going to turn to a worse call here. All right, one time.
Is Scott setting up a move here on the turn, Dave?
I imagine he is. It's the only thing he can. I mean, he's got nothing. No draw, nothing.
careful.
Heads up. 6-5 against 8-10.
But Scott, I mean, George can't like him calling.
I called this other guy.
See what Scott represents a diamond or something here.
So we thought we were talking about the same board as George, and it was
Turn
not.
is a deuce. George has a straight draw now.
Yeah,
Checks.
Take my free card.
And he checks right behind him, Dave.
Well,
And the river is an ace.
well, I don't mind the check right behind, because what is Scott going to represent when the deuce of spades hits?
Yeah.
75.
Well, now a third diamond comes,
Exactly.
and now he bets. He bets 75.
And that's good poker. I like that play by Scott. I got to give you. I was ripping him before, but this is a good play.
Give me the card.
$75
George
bet
can't
here.
beat anything but a pure bluff here.
Can't beat a 3, can't beat a diamond.
One left.
I mean, he can beat 6-7,
Does anyone want one of these? They're so good. They're so good, man.
right?
There's shrimp and all this.
I mean, I'm trying to think of hands that you might put somebody on. Okay, what does he have? What did he call me with? And then check the turn. And 6-7 is the only one.
$75 bet, which I want to say is about a little over half the size of the pot.
Someday.
And Scott is clearly... See, I don't mind the check on the turn because the deuce of spades comes, and you kind of look at it and go, well, if this guy had a king, he's going to call me because the deuce of spades isn't scary.
Right.
Wow. And what's interesting here is George is actually staring at the flop. He's trying to replay the hand and think of what Scott has.
Yeah.
Why stare at the flop? Why not stare at Why not stare at Scott?
Yeah.
See if you can get a read from the player instead of the flop.
Oh, there we go.
And look at that.
Well, Scott's like biting his nails there. Or biting that toothpick.
George has got a gut feeling. He thinks his hand is good. He really does.
And he makes the call.
Great call.
I have one of two hands. I either have a 10 high flush or I have 10 high. I can't remember if it was 10-8 of the hearts or 10-8 of diamonds.
Too fast.
You turn over.
Oh.
Fuck. Got 10 high.
Wow, that's a great call from George. And I can't false. I mean, Scott was calling on the flop just to make a play.
Deuce is what I had.
And he got the card he wanted. The ace of diamonds is like the ultimate scare card.
Well, he claims that he just had red cards. He didn't know what suit he had in his hand.
Hey, I don't buy that.
Gave you too much credit.
I don't buy that. But wow, what a call from George.
Do you think he looked a little nervous there chomping on that toothpick?
Yeah, I guess, but I don't think... Did George actually look at him?
Right. That is true.
Wow, what a call. That is one of the all-time great... I mean, I know it was only $100, but that's a great, great call.
Should have seen this four I made in Vegas. I put some on too. I think this is what you're about to
I'm
go.
not gonna
Scott's
judge
going to
it.
straddle here.
These cards are
That was
And,
a
seat
frustration
4.
call because you just said I had one.
That's Mark. He's got pocket aces. And Scott has king queen in the straddle spot.
And some people might say George is just stubborn and he calls all the time, but he's not, he's not like that. He makes big laydowns all the time.
$45 raise here by pocket aces. Is Scott going to get steaming here on his hand, Dave? He's got king queen.
And I want to say, is he out of position here, right?
Yep, he's in the straddle spot.
Wow.
Okay, I'll take it.
Well, you said you wanted to know if Scott...
Oh, and Ricardo has ace-jack off suit.
You know why I raised? Because he goes loose call, I wanted him out. But I bet, and I got all these callers. I'm like, oh shit.
The winner is throwing away.
And these guys are both in pretty bad shape.
Yeah, it's hot.
Well, what hand isn't in bad shape against aces?
And now
I really wasn't sure whether I had a diamond or a heart. I really wasn't. I just remember seeing a red 10.
Now Scott
and 8.
instantly makes the
I
call
didn't want
with
to look
king
down at my
queen.
cards, but I did.
And they both just call. There's no raise there.
$135 pot, 3 ways.
And if there comes a king or a queen out here, we're going to see action.
Well, how about Jack 10-6 giving Scott an open-ended straight draw?
Well, that's going to be some action. Let's see how he plays it. He checks.
So
and
look at
decides-
this. Ricardo's got ace-jack.
Yeah, we're going to see fireworks here.
$135 pot, 3 ways.
Wow.
And ace-jack is going to lead.
Now, do you raise if you're Scott?
$50 bet. Scott just calls now with aces, so you're going to make the raise.
Oh, I think you'd move all in here.
Yeah.
The pot is already...
235. Now it's 400 more, so it's a $635 pot.
Especially, he has the ace of diamonds in his hand.
400 to call. 635, 400 to call.
If somebody has a diamond draw, I get the redraw.
375.
635, about 400 to call here. Now, if you're Scott, you can't think your overcards are good, right? Wouldn't it be pretty much just a straight draw? You say, I just got a straight draw. I got 8 outs. I might have backdoor diamonds.
Yeah, unless you put the guy in. Yeah, I mean, he put him specifically on aces.
Now, if Ricardo makes the call, though, now the pot balloons to $1,000, and it's $400 for you to call.
Actually, and he's only got to, I want to say 250 left. The problem is, though, is you put one of them on diamonds.
So if he has 250 left, obviously it's in essence going to be a different pot if Ricardo mucks here.
Yeah, no, of course. Tough laydown here for Ricardo.
Bombed in the head.
The inherent problems with ace-jack here.
My place. Really? She looked like cats were.
The thing with Ricardo is he's sitting there going, well, if this guy's got kings or queens, an ace is good or a jack is good.
Dave, this is going to be our last hand of the night also.
Well, it's a good way to end it.
Yep.
All right.
He's going to muck it.
I need you call to give me odds on this draw.
He's going to muck it.
He mucks ace-jack. That's a big laydown.
I'm getting like 6-1 on this shit.
You guys got to talk about this on the way here.
And now Scott said, I wanted you to call in between.
Are you leaving?
No, not until it's over.
The game's breaking. I call.
And look at this. He says the game's breaking. I call.
Wow, well, he's got draw. He's got not a great draw, though, because two of the aces are dead.
And the diamond, obviously, is not going to be good either, because the other guy's got the ace of diamonds. Turn is 5.
He needs an ace or a 9.
That didn't help.
The river's a 3.
I had king high.
Mark takes it down with aces.
Good. Good fold. Good fold.
Ricardo pats himself on the back.
Well, that's a great laydown from. I want to say, last couple of hands we've seen, George made a great call against Scott. A fabulous laydown.
Yeah.
Fabulous laydown by Ricardo. Top pair, top kicker, and he lays it down.
So we saw some great plays tonight, Dave, don't you think? Yeah, I mean, especially when someone like Patrick comes in and adds action.
For a 3-5 game, this is really some good poker.
Of course, we stream live cash games every Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 Pacific time. Tomorrow night we'll probably be doing another mid-level restricted buy, no limit game. We might do a 500 unrestricted. We'll see. So for everyone here in the booth and for David Tuckman, I'm Bart Hanson. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.
It's here. It's big. And it's closer than you think. It's not a tournament. It's what you don't see on TV. The cash is real. The stakes are high. They bet big. They win big. They lose big. High stakes live action poker. Live at the Bike. Watch it live on the web or play it if you dare at the Bicycle Casino right here in Los Angeles.